FM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs have a new partner. They've reached a deal today with French digital asset security firm Ledger to be the new jersey patch sponsor. Spurs were one of 3 teams without a jersey sponsor last year, along with the Hornets and the Clippers. Spurs also apparently not playing around with that number 2 overall pick. Any team attempting to move up is being asked for, quote, a ridiculous haul from one executive. That's what he told Yahoo Sports' Kevin O'Connor.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Deep inside an underground cave.
Here we go.
That's where we are today. Hello.
You can keep trying. It's amazing. We're 130 feet underground here at Natural Bridge Caverns, yet Joe still can't make a room echo.
Hello. No, but it's pretty cool.
I don't know what that noise was over there. That's kind of, I mean, because there's so much going on here at Natural Bridge Caverns and different tours that sometimes you hear the music start and you're waiting for, I don't know, the dinosaurs to come out. The music is intense. It feels like you're actually in the movie.
Well, this is pretty cool, actually, because you come down a long, tunnel. Now, you got to ride down the tunnel. I had to walk down that thing.
Well, I mean, I don't want to drop, do you know who I am? But
apparently you did.
I had a great golf cart ride all the way down.
I know.
Which was awesome. It was like a ride. I mean, the people at Natural Bridge Caverns, I mean, they make you walk. They could charge more with the golf cart ride because that was a lot of fun. Because we were going the opposite way, too. You're not supposed to walk down that, but you could ride down that.
You're not supposed to walk down it?
Yeah, that's the exit. You walk up it.
Well, they got a little, like a little
moving sidewalk
which takes you up.
Yeah, but
it
doesn't bring you down.
No,
it's just stop, drop, and roll, man. Just get down any way you can.
I had to walk, man. I got bad wheels. I can't be doing that.
Are you still talking about your car?
Yes.
Did you fix your tires?
I have not done that yet. No. That is a project for something I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I just don't want to put that thing on the highway. So, but I'm good. Got out here, no problems, and happy to be here. I tell you what, this place is incredible. All transparency, I've never been here before.
What?
So this is incredible.
You've got 5 kids.
I know.
How have you never been out here?
Dude, I may go out in the backyard and play. Dig your own cavern.
Uh-huh.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Father of the Year.
I know it.
He's
That's me.
Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Matt Roy from News 4 just said, you lazy ass taking a golf cart. You're damn right. It was offered. It was all right. I was pulling in because you go where, most people aren't allowed to go that aren't employees.
Right.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm here. We're doing, hop in. Okay.
Nobody said that. I asked somebody what, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
it's all good. I find there was a real nice lady because I walked in and we parked in the employee parking lot. So you walk in and there's a lady in I don't know if it's a ticket booth or what, but very nice lady. And I said, I've got this piece of paper here. Do you know where I need to go? And she looked at it. She goes, oh, yeah, it's right over there. Just take the little walk and just go right over there and they'll take care of it.
Mine says hop on.
Hop on.
I had a golf cart ready to go.
Well, that's it's all right. That's all right. I needed the exercise.
Well, yeah, it's
good.
Yeah, you do. Did Greg Shelton walk all the way down here with all the equipment? No golf cart at all? They looked at you and said, yeah, you need to walk.
I can't wait to see Shelton take that stuff back.
I won't be around to see him take it back.
I won't either. 130 feet down. That's where we're at right now in this cavern. It's really kind of cool. And what I love about it, they tell us there's like 99% humidity in this cave. Is it a cave or a cavern?
It's a cavern.
It's a cavern.
Where we are, and I'd love to be able to tell you I have no idea, except for we're 130 feet down.
Right.
Feels further down, but they tell me 130 feet. We're in a room. You go on, if you're on the tour, you go from that part over there, come across this part where we're at to go to that part over there. I have no idea. The ballroom, whatever that means, right?
They actually have dances.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the walls behind us. We're in a room, but apparently, many years ago when the this thing collapsed.
Wait a minute, what?
Well, I mean, so this, we're on the the crumblings, if you will, of what was the ceiling. And they just concreted it over, added some lights, and here we go. It's 70 degrees, though. It's perfect.
It's nice in here. You get a little fan blowing over here, too.
Uh-huh.
It's a little chilly, quite honestly.
It is.
A little bit.
I mean, it's been a long time since we've done one of these, and Greg Shelton hasn't sweated. You understand how cool it is down here.
Now, Minix, you've been in radio for a long time.
Yep.
Have you ever done a show in a cavern before?
I have not.
Well, this is a first for you.
It is. Now, because I've been out here a lot. When I was working at the New Braunfels radio station, we did a lot of remotes out at Natural Bridge Caverns, but not underground. We were always,
above,
or the park where the wildlife part, and the zip lining. We would do all that kind of stuff, but never underground like this.
Well, I'm intrigued, and I like it. And what is today? It's Tuesday.
It is.
There's a lot of people out here.
Well, sure.
I mean, a lot of people.
It's summertime, dude.
Every tour has a bunch of folks that are going through there, and they're coming through about every 10 minutes or so.
I realize you live in a bubble.
I do.
And there are people that are on their summer vacation. They have kids. What are we going to do? And this is a fun thing to go do. But what I've noticed, it's not just a lot of old people.
That's what I'm saying.
Again, what do you want to do? It ain't 100 degrees outside. Let's go underground 100 feet. And, as you look at these walls, now I'm thinking that, and again, idea guy, Natural Bridge Caverns, could they take this area here, start selling some beer, and put up some projectors where you're watching the games along those walls
the
off
ultimate
projectors.
Man cave.
You'd be a man cave in a cave.
Put some recliners in here like that, too. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I mean, you could take the screens at the Roof Hub and put them all along over there.
Yeah.
Or some projectors. That would be cool. Literal man cave.
I tell you, that would be awesome. I'd come down here and do that.
Yeah.
As long as I had a golf cart to bring me.
Well,
that's a great idea, Jim.
The question is, because I've already reserved the ride back, will they send a golf cart where you could ride too?
Well, I've got the moving elevator, so I'm fine going back up.
But
I don't have an issue
once
with
the
that.
moving elevator stops, you still have to walk to your car, which, isn't that far away. But I know you.
I know somebody.
Yeah, well, so do I.
So,
I've already reserved. You'll be back at 6? Yep.
Well, if I was late like you were, then they'd probably say
you were
late.
I
Come on,
late. I stopped and had lunch. And again, I was told if you read the notes, be here at 1:45.
Oh, is that what it says?
I was.
It doesn't say that.
It does say that.
1:45.
That's what I read.
Wow.
And meet at 1:45, and they will escort you guys down there in a golf cart. So that's what I did.
I guess I need to read those instructions.
Well, I mean. You called me like, where are you at? And I said, I'm having lunch.
Did you bring a flare?
I did. Well, kind of, because I didn't know. I don't really have a flare that I was safe with, but I did bring a barbecue light. So just in case.
We may need those.
We might need it. I didn't know what I was getting into. I said, Greg Shelton said, I'm going to bring a light. And he brought a light. Not two. He brought one. So if you're watching on YouTube, Joe gets the TV lighting and I have a barbecue light.
Yeah. Well, that's how it should be.
Greg Shelton has a lighter. I mean, it's all good.
That's how it should be. Poor Greg Shelton. When people come on the tours, they look over at this guy and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like he lives here or something.
Well, they do feel like he's found his home.
Yeah.
I mean, this is right up Greg's alley.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a little caveman look to him, doesn't he? A little bit. Hey, we got a lot to get into, man. Lots of rumors, as you might expect, with tomorrow being the draft. One of the things that I want to get into, Minix, is the fact that the Spurs are actually, I guess you can't really say shopping the number 2 pick, but they've got a price out there. If you want to pay for it, it's there and available. And I wonder how everybody feels about that. And you can join in. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. If you've never done that, go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, subscribe and like our YouTube page. That's good. You can comment there. You can also comment on Twitter at Jason Minix or at Joe Reinagle 210, or you can call us the old-fashioned way if you'd like, 210-656-3776 and 656 ESPN. That's how you get a hold of us. Interesting, though. I want to get into that because I think that's genius by the Spurs, what they're doing with that. Plus, there's a couple of big fellas out there the Spurs are said to have some interest in. We're talking about it all when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast, and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated, because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Do you want the lowest prices on wines and champagne shipped right to your door? TotalWine.com, America's largest independent wine retailer, ships to Eugene and Springfield. Explore our vast selection of over 8,000 wines and find something you love, all at the lowest prices for over 30 years. Whether you're looking to enjoy a full-bodied Cabernet from Paso or crisp Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, TotalWine.com has you covered with great wines and Grand Cru champagne shipped right to your door. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Shipping available on wine and champagne only. Drink responsibly. B21. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
They say all good things come to those who wait, but not for those who wait for that next auto breakdown that could cost you thousands of dollars. I'm Danica Patrick. In the past 5 years, auto repair costs have gone up over 36%. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all. With an Endurance Auto Protection Plan, no matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done by the certified mechanic of your choice. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, and lockout services. Act now and get the benefits of our Elite Plan, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again. So call now for your free quote.
Call 800-282-6709. That's 800-282-6709. 800-282-6709.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members.
Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1.
That little cave music going on there.
Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're making up the rules today.
Why not?
Why not? This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is here. Greg Shelton is, whatever Greg Shelton does. And James Pledger back at the station in the glass box of fun. And we're happy all of y'all are here with us as well.
Yeah, live at Natural Bridge Caverns, actually in a cavern. We're 130 feet below and about 30 degrees cooler than you guys are driving on I-35, wherever you are. And it's interesting because there's some big basketball news we'll get into. We're at Natural Bridge Caverns. Wemby just got back from the Great Wall of China. Just the complete opposite, right? We're underground and he was high above, but he posts some photos, wrote in his caption in Chinese. I can't read it, but you look at the photos of his trip, including at the temple and when he was getting his head shaved. He looks very calm as they are shaving his head. Reminds me of boot camp. The only time I've had my head shaved.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, not really. Wemby, if you're 7 foot, whatever he is, 6'3", 5", I don't know. It changes daily, I think. Nobody can see his head anyway.
Well, I mean, you can. You can see if somebody has hair, and he probably, as much hair is on the ground. He's sitting on steps, and the dude standing behind him and barely having to crouch over to reach the top of his head.
I know it.
Yeah.
Nuts.
I mean.
Wow.
And I'm guessing the guy shaving his
legs,
head.
dude. You talk about his legs are 6 feet 3.
It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
And now I'm visioning that paired next to Porzingis.
Kristaps.
That'd be a couple of really skinny bigs, but I saw one of the posts on one of the gazillion tweets that the Spurs are interested in Kristaps Porzingis is Spurs front court, and it was 2 drumsticks. like from drummers. I know you looked at me and you were thinking chicken. No, like drumsticks.
Yeah, I was thinking chicken.
Yeah, no, think like Taylor Hawkins, a drummer.
Look,
boom, boom, boom.
That's a need, and I think it would be a no-brainer for this guy. He's on the last year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken, and about $30 million is what he makes, and to have him with Wemby, or even to come in and spell Wemby a little bit, either way, it's a pretty good deal. There's another guy that the Spurs are interested in too, and I tell you what, his name. It's difficult to
talk to me, Joe.
Well, his name is difficult.
Come on, tell me. Tell me.
I'm gonna get to it. It is. It's pronounced Guerschon Yabusele. Guerschon Yabusele.
Yeah, I was just talking chicken. And what kind of dish is that?
It's French.
Yeah, it sounds like something
French.
off.
Well, apparently these two guys played together on the French national team, Wemby and Guerschon.
Sure.
So that would make perfect sense.
I mean, if you're doing everything to, I don't know, connect with Wemby. Now, seeing where all the dominoes fall. Boston, with Tatum out basically all the next year, their payroll, they're slashing. That makes Porzingis available. Then you look and see, okay, CJ McCollum just got traded. The Pelicans are trading CJ, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to Washington for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the 40th pick.
Wow.
And again, there's going to be all those different kinds of things that you're going to see happening. And what kind of dominoes that could mean for San Antonio. And again, seeing all the different stories involving San Antonio, this player, or apparently the ridiculous asking price that San Antonio has for the number 2 pick.
Well, but I love it. I think it's great. And look, the Spurs are doing it right. You got the number 2 pick. It's a very valuable pick. You say, okay, if we can get this, we'll trade it.
Yeah.
Knowing that probably nobody's going to get there and you're going to get your guy. But if somebody did, and you got an extreme haul for that thing, then congratulations. I mean, it's a no-brainer to do that. Put something out there that is completely ridiculous. But if it's like winning the lottery. If I don't know, Brooklyn or Washington or somebody came up and said, okay, we'll do that. You'd say, whoa, it's all yours, buddy. Here you go. Give me all the stuff.
Well, again, I mean, they love Dylan Harper. By all accounts, they are going to take Dylan Harper, and they're going to figure out if this is going to work. But if the price is right, all right, that was fun.
Absolutely.
And the other part, you think about, tomorrow, Blitz live out at the Rue Pub. We expect Cooper Flagg to go number 1. You expect Dylan Harper to go number 2. But the Spurs could still draft Dylan Harper at number 2, and maybe there's a player they want that could be available at number 8, but they're going to let that team draft him just to make sure that he falls that way, and then all of a sudden there's a swap later on in the day, kind of like what happened with Kawhi back in the day at number 15. Remember, he got drafted by the Pacers. All his pictures from draft night, putting on the hat, saying all the right things about Indiana. They're saying all the right things about him. And before you went to bed, he was a Spur.
Yeah.
Right? And so even if the Spurs take the number 2, and again, if I'm Brian Wright, and, all the talk about Brooklyn. So let's use Brooklyn as an example. They're at number 8. Let's say, a big from Duke is available, and that's who you're thinking.
Yeah.
But you look at different mock drafts, that guy's going at 4, he's going at 8, he's going at 9, he's going at 7, he's all over the board. So the Spurs can't make that trade and ensure that they're going to get the player they want. But things could fall their way that if this happens and this happens, we can execute this trade.
And that's absolutely a possibility. I just love the fact that this is leaked out and that the executives from other NBA teams are saying the Spurs are wanting a ridiculous haul for that number 2 pick. And I think, to me, when I saw that, it's like, they're genius. I think it's fantastic. Put a price on it. It's like everybody's got a price, right? You can either get there or you can't. Spurs put a huge price on the number 2 pick. Somebody wants to pay that, it's all yours. If not, we take our guy and we're fine with it.
Well, and they've got that leverage to be able to do that. And, like when the Phoenix Suns started shopping Kevin Durant, they had a ridiculous price. Nobody was buying that. They reduced the price and they found a buyer. The Spurs aren't interested in selling unless they can sell high. And I mean, sure, they're getting calls. They're not making calls, but they're getting calls.
No.
They're not shopping the pick, but somebody calls. Well, what do you want for it? All right, I'm asking for the moon and a couple of stars, and give me a couple of planets as well.
Exactly.
If somebody can come up with the solar system, they could have Dylan Harper.
And they say, okay, we'll pay that price. Spurs are they're in great shape. So I just think it's genius to go ahead and put a price out there, as ridiculous as it may be. And if somebody bites, they bite. And if they don't, well, you're no worse off. You're still getting the guy that you want. So I found that it was sensational on the Spurs' part. It's going to be interesting to see what all happens. Now, last night, Drew Holiday was traded, and it does look like the Boston Celtics are having a little bit of a garage sale. They trade him to Portland. And so if Porzingis is next, or Jaylen Brown perhaps they want to get rid of, who knows? But it looks like Boston is open for business.
Well, Boston is, and again, a big part of that is their payroll, and they're not going to have Jason Tatum next year. So you look at, is this the right time for Boston to shed some salary and rebuild on the fly? Because with no Tatum next year, what kind of chance do they have? And some of their players. Now, I look at a Jaylen Brown, which I mean, if the Spurs could figure that out. But, a Derek White could be on the move. Some of their, not superstars, but key role players, because Boston does not want to have that massive payroll knowing they don't really have a chance at winning the NBA Finals next year with no Jason Tatum. It's interesting because we all know with an Achilles, it's a year.
Oh,
and especially when they happen in the postseason like this.
Yep.
And there's a lot of teams out there that their key players, because of Achilles in the postseason with dudes wearing jersey number 0, you already know next year is likely lost. And I say that with the exception of maybe Indiana, because while Tyrese Halliburton is their star player, they could probably figure out a way to win without Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, Siakam still might be their best player, but, could they find somebody else to kind of fill that Tyrese role in the short term? But Tatum, no. And I think that's probably part of the discussions going on in Milwaukee as well. Giannis looking at, does he want to move? Does he not want to move? They're not going far next year.
But the rumors have come back up. It seemed to get quiet in Milwaukee for a little while, and now those rumors are coming back up. And as you might imagine, the Spurs are a team that is being mentioned just simply because of what they have. Not only the number 2 pick, but they've got a lot of draft capital, and they've got some players that they can throw in the mix as well. And so obviously Giannis is going to be a topic of conversation for a little while, whether that happens before the draft or after it. That's going to be out there, and we'll see what Milwaukee wants to do. And not necessarily Milwaukee. What does Giannis want to do? Because they're going to do whatever he wants.
Well, that's true. But as a Spur fan, though, and all of you listening right now, probably Spurs fans, or most of you, right? The Porzingis talked today. It feels like, there was Spurs getting Giannis. Oh, excitement level. What about KD? Excitement level. All right, well, Porzingis. You know what I mean? It almost feels, which might be the better move, might be the Oklahoma City way. You don't need a superstar. You need key role players. But you think about the names that have been attached to the Spurs this offseason, which is, again, uncharted territory for San Antonio because, Spurs aren't very often players like this. But you think about everybody associated or rumored to Spurs are interested in them or they're interested in San Antonio. It's all over the spectrum as far as star power and excitement level goes. But what actually is the best fit for San Antonio? Obviously, that's what Brian Wright and Mitch Johnson and that staff over there are trying to figure out.
Well, I think a Porzingis would fit nicely here. I mean, that is a need for the Spurs. They need another big guy. So I think that he would fit nicely here, and I wouldn't be upset with that at all. The French guy that I'm not going to pronounce his name.
Oh, come on.
Gouchon. I think he's a guy that is an up-and-comer, and that could possibly be a fit. There's still some other things that need to be done, and if you go that route, what else are you going to do? But I don't know. I like the fact that as we get closer to the draft, which is tomorrow night, by the way, that things are beginning to heat up and you're starting to see some moves. I mean, the fact that C.J. McCollum's been traded, that's interesting, although I know New Orleans is cleaning house. They're having a garage sale. So they could be doing some more stuff. So it's interesting. Porzingis, the only thing that worries me about him is his injury issues. I mean, he has had that, and that is that going to be a problem? He gave a health update today. He says he's fine, he's in good shape, but
sure, it's true.
What the guy's been, he's been banged up a lot. I mean, he really has. So interesting stuff, and I love the fact. I love this time of year. It's fantastic.
Well, and again, you also, I mean, read the tea leaves. The Spurs today announced a new jersey patch sponsor, a French-based company.
Yes.
Pledge saw it and thought they misspelled his name. Whatever Ledger is.
They left off the B.
Yeah. Whatever Ledger is, which I guess is a Bitcoin company. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, all right, cool. They got a jersey patch sponsor. Great.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, though.
Well, it is a lot of money. Do they get paid in cash or crypto? It's no different than the Cowboys and their deal with, what is it, blockchain? I mean, there's all these different companies that are trying to get in. It's big business. It's global business for the San Antonio Spurs. And that's just another reason why when you think about building the new Wemby Center, when that comes around, that it's far beyond Frost on the jersey, and somebody in Paris goes, what the hell is Frost? Oh, it's a bank. Or HEB. Most people in the country, they've heard of HEB, but they've never shopped at HEB. Does it make sense? This is some global company that clearly it makes sense for them to be a part of the NBA, but also the Spurs with the French connection.
Well, and sometimes it may be just rich people problems. Would you know what Love's is if you lived in Boston? Probably not.
Well, I mean, you think about big gas stations all over the place. I mean, there's Love's and there's the, the Flying J's. In Iowa, there was
Buc-ee's.
one. You got Buc-ee's here. When I was in Iowa and across the Midwest, they've got a gas station chain. It's called Come and Go. And you look at that and you automatically become a 9-year-old when you see the sign.
Of course you do.
But they're all over the place. I mean, it's the name of these gas stations all over the Midwest.
Well, right. But I'm just saying. So I think, look, Love's around here is big. As a truck stop goes, they're huge. But I don't know if you know who that is in Boston. I'm not sure.
You can Google it.
I'm excited today because we've got a big announcement coming up. A huge announcement coming up, something that everyone out there listening on YouTube, however you're doing it, is going to want to hear and participate in. We'll tell you what it is when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, it's finally here, draft day. We'll talk all about the possibilities. Yeah, who are the Spurs going to go with? Who are they going to pick? Are they going to pick at 14? All that, but also football. Let's talk that too. Got plenty of time to do it. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-8841. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky Sevens AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk.
Joe, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarterman Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You know, the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The Blitz broadcasting 130 feet down today. Natural Bridge Caverns. That's where we are. I'm Joe Reinagel. That's Jason Minix. And pretty cool place to be doing a show today.
You know, we get to do our show in a lot of cool places.
We do.
Now, it's cool to do one inside Natural Bridge Caverns and 130 feet down. Also very cool to broadcast live from Stadium Swim at Circa Las Vegas. And let's talk about that. Mike Palm, the VP of Operations at Circa Las Vegas, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades at guest line, because we're going to announce we're going back in August, the ultimate weekend, contest weekend. Mike, man, how's your Tuesday?
Tuesday's great. You know, the NBA final is done. OKC's your champion, and now we go into this couple of months here where we got a lot of baseball focus and longing for football.
No question about it. But we're concentrating on the NBA draft, Mike, and very excited about that. The Spurs have the number 2 overall pick, and by all accounts, are going to take Dylan Harper, although they threw other teams a little bit of a bone, although some executives say it is a ridiculous bone. So, yeah, you want it, you got to pay for it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think there's several big name players out there that could be trade bait, but probably won't. I mean, if I'm Milwaukee, I'm rebuilding and I'm dealing the freak. I'm sorry, you're never going to get more for him than you do right now. And I think this is the opportune time. I mean, keeping him, I don't know that they're going to have a team that can get back to a conference finals with him. And the other team that I would look at in the West is, and this is not a popular opinion, but if I'm Minnesota, I'd look to deal Anthony Edwards. This guy, if he ever does have the emotional maturity to lead a team to a title, his physical skills will have diminished by that point. But those are just some unpopular NBA opinions I have.
Mike Palm from Circa Las Vegas joining us here on the Blitz. Out of curiosity there, at the world's largest, greatest sports book there is, the discussions you guys have and those that are in charge of setting the lines on all the player trades that are happening, and then as the draft happens for people that want to make those future bets. What's it like in those rooms?
Well, it's so much based on trying to follow beat writers, trying to keep up with social media and stay ahead of the market. But generally in draft situations or player next team to play for, we're behind the bettors on that. And generally we lose on those, whether it's the NFL draft or it's the NBA draft.
I'm curious because I don't know if you guys do futures on the draft at all, but the number 1 pick is pretty much done. Do you, first of all, do futures on the NBA draft?
It depends on the year. So if there was a possibility that there were 3 or 4 different guys that might have been the number 1 pick, then it makes sense to hang a market. when the number one pick is already decided, it makes no sense. Just like in the NFL draft, there was no point to book number one. Really, the draft started at 3, right? And so you can only hang markets where there's some amount of indecision.
Absolutely. Mike Palm joining us here on the Blitz, the VP of Operations at Circa Las Vegas. And we get to go back. The Ultimate Contest weekend, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, coming back in August. Now, people that are going to Vegas between now and then, you can go by and get signed up. But we have that big weekend in August. Tell us about these great contests.
Yeah, we're doing our standards that we normally run, the Circa Millions, which is the 5 picks against the spread every week in the NFL. The cool part of that is the quarters, where we split the year into 4 different really contests and give away $300,000 each quarter. So I know it's tough to pick 65% winners for 18 weeks, but if you can get hot for 4 or 5 weeks, you can turn it into a couple $100,000. There's 126 ways to win. $1,000 entry. The maximum entries is 5. We come back with our Survivor contest that grew from $9 million to $14 million last year. That's to pick a winner every week. You can only use a team once. Seems so easy yet so hard. Remember, 97% of the people were out after a month last year because of all the chaos and carnage that the NFL saw in the month of September. And so we hope to grow that. We guaranteed $15 million this year. I really want to get it to $20 million. I'm excited and think we can. You can get up to 10 entries there. Once again, $1,000 an entry. And then we added a third contest called Grandissimo, which is another Survivor contest, but a much different strategy, much different scale. This is $100,000 buy-in with a maximum of 2 entries. We guaranteed $1.5 million just because we picked a number. That's where we started out 7 years ago with the Circa Millions. So we picked it. It's going to be hard to scale. I mean, to track, because not a lot of people are going to lock up $100,000 for 4 months. So they're not people beating down the door to sign in now. We had one person do it on the first day, and he got to go on VSiN and all that. But we won't know much about that till maybe that week that you guys are out there towards the end of August.
And that'll be what Joe Reinagle gets into.
Well, of course,
I did the Circa Millions last year, and it's a lot of fun. Although picking 5 games against the spread every week, a lot of 3-2, a lot of 4-1. I had 1 week where I went 5-0, and it's a lot harder than you think. But man, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and basically you're in it the whole year, because even if you've done poorly, and we do have a last place prize for the whole year and for each quarter, the worst record. But even if you're doing poorly, you're really still into it into the fourth quarter. So it gives you 4.5 months of action. Survivor, as you guys know, you might be out in the first week.
But you know what, Mike? I love that Survivor because it sounds easy. Like you pick teams, you know who's going to win the game. There's no point spread. But it's more difficult than that. But the excitement, especially if you do happen to last a few weeks and you get in there, you half the season. And, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And the adrenaline there, man, is just off the chart.
I mean, hell, last year, if you lasted through mid-October, you were already down under 500 entries. So it consumes your whole life. I mean, it's really a chance, and it's common people that win every year. It's not basically your professional gambler. It's a guy that, sells roofing. It's a plumber. It's an insurance guy. It's just the regular people doing this. I understand the other one with the millions. You get more pros in there. You got to pick 5 games a week, but it's really a way for somebody to put $1,000 in and become a millionaire.
Mike Palm from Circa Las Vegas joining us here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And we will be live at Circa August 21st and 22nd. Then, of course, we stay through the weekend. We will have probably early next week a discount code. But go ahead and book your flights now.
Yeah.
Wait a couple of days to book the rooms when we have that discount code, or you could do it now. Either way. I mean, but it's an incredible weekend that you guys set up. Now, again, people can sign up at any point right now. If they're going out for, say, 4th of July weekend or whatever, they can get signed up. But that weekend in August is just so much fun that you guys have just created a huge event before the regular season gets underway in college football and in the NFL.
You make a good point. And we have over 1,300 entries in Survivor already. We're running about 25% ahead of last year's. But that weekend, you guys are talking about the 21st through 23rd of August. We do a champions dinner for all past champions. at Wembanyama with Derek and I and Jeff Benson on Thursday night, which turns into a meet and greet at Bar Canada at the Dean. It's a hell of a good time from like 6:30 to 9. And then on Friday, anybody that does one entry that weekend, a minimum of one entry in any of the contests, we have a stadium swim day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for everybody to come out and hang out on the upper deck of Stadium Swim. Booze and food are. And we also will enter you based on the number of entries you do. I think we're going to pick 80 people and run a blackjack tournament that Friday night in our high limit room. And then, of course, I have my football preview panel on Saturday. Chuck Edel, professional bettors, already guaranteed for the panel. Drew Disnick, who many people might know as the whale capper, he'll be on the panel. Maybe Matt Ryan might be the pro athlete we're going to have this year. So it'll be another great panel.
Mike, I've got to explain to folks that have never been to Circa, because it is just a unique place. I mean, the sports book is outstanding, the best one I have ever seen. It's the best, certainly in Vegas for sure. But it's just kind of it's a everyday guys kind of place in a lot of ways. And if you're a high roller, it's their kind of place. So it appeals to everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible place with a great atmosphere, almost like a stadium to watch games and watch all of them, because we can split that, we split that screen into basically 19 different screens, and we have every game on there. And of course, you have your tellers right there, and you can buy the tables or reserve the tables and get your food and beverage packages. And it's 3 stories high. I mean, where the writer stands is actually 25 feet below street level, and then it goes all the way up through the second floor of the casino. And then, of course, Stadium Swim, which the screen's actually 3 times bigger out there. So you combine the best of people watching, day drinking, and sports.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like Circa Las Vegas. Now, Mike, you host that football panel during that weekend in August when we're all going to be out there, the Ultimate Contest weekend. As you look ahead towards the NFL season, and it's interesting, like Pro Football Talk yesterday had their post-minicamp power rankings. And this is Cowboy country, and I'm a Cowboy fan. Cowboys were like 17th or 19th in that. Why are so many down on the Cowboys with a Dak Prescott coming back healthy and the addition of a George Pickens at wide receiver?
Well, I'm not sure that Schottenheimer has inspired a lot of confidence in the betting market. You have your defending Super Bowl champion in that division and the Washington team that was so dynamic last year. The NFC North looks really strong, and if you believe the Bears are going to be good, you're going to have 4 good teams in that division. So, look, if you're high on the Cowboys, the season win total is only 7.5. You can bet it over 7.5. You can bet it over 8, over 8.5. You get plus numbers on 8 or 8.5. So, if you think the Cowboys can win 9 games this year, there's a great opportunity to make money.
I'm just curious, Mike, what's the buzz with the Raiders this year with the additions that they've made?
Well, people are excited about Pete Carroll. Everybody, we became close with the Boise program, so really, really high on Ashton Genty. Quarterback will still be an issue, and they're in that division. I mean, you've got the Chiefs, who have won at 8 or 9 straight years. I think Denver is vastly improved. I have some futures on Denver. Harper on the Chargers. I mean, all the coaches are really good. So there's a quiet optimism with the Raiders, but it will turn on how do they start. Can they get out of the blocks well? And if they get out of the blocks well and stay above 500, it'll be okay. But if you fall behind in that division, then the interest it quickly subsides because people love the Vegas Golden Knights out in this area here.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And Mike, as we think about the Raiders, Cowboys play the Raiders on a Monday night in November. A lot of people listening, the Raiders, Allegiant has become one of those destination stadiums, kind of like Jerry World. It's not really to see the Raiders. It's a great weekend to go to Vegas. And the fact that the Cowboys are playing there on a Monday night, how cool will that be that weekend, that early part of the week with it a Monday night game? I guess people would stay till Tuesday or Wednesday. How great is that for the city and for Circa Las Vegas?
Well, it's awesome. And I mean, we don't do a lot of stuff with Allegiant because, so many games are on Sunday and we throw the big party at Circa on Sunday. But for that game, I know Derek's looked at some suite prices to maybe host a suite for that game because we'll have a lot of people from Texas and, of course, all across the country because the Cowboys are such a national brand. So, and it falls perfectly because a lot of people will still come on Friday, right? And they leave Wednesday. So it's terrific.
Well, Mike, I tell you what, I'm expecting a little free advice when we get there in August for some of these future picks. You're okay with that, right?
I am. I'll give you this hint. I bet 3 teams over the win total. I mentioned Denver. I also bet the Rams and the Rams to win the NFC. That's when they were shopping Stafford, because I never thought that they were going to let him go. And then I'm very high on the Vikings. I bet them over 8.5. We actually had to move their win total from 8.5 to 9.5 at Circa, because all the money was coming in on the over for the Vikings.
Wow, it's so much fun. Cannot wait to be to get out there in August. The ultimate contest weekend. These contests are great. Again, you can play anywhere, but you got to register in Nevada, and you can do that at any point. But plan on joining us in Las Vegas at Circa Las Vegas in late August, because this will be our 4th trip out there.
Yes.
It's incredible.
It is
always
incredible.
A lot of fun. Mike and the crew, they know how to throw a party. That is for sure.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Mike,
well, I appreciate you two guys as much as any team in the country, Joe and Jason. We have a hell of a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to you and the crew that you bring out here in August.
It's always a lot of fun. And Mike, before we let you go, how relieved were you that the Spurs promoted Mitch Johnson to be their head coach? Because every time we talked, it was always, man, don't take Becky. Don't take Becky.
Well, they lost 2 in a row, so we said take Becky now. We're just kidding. She's terrific. They played a great second half to beat the Aces. How about these tickets with these Caitlin Clark games? My wife said, let's go to the game on Sunday, because she's a big Caitlin Clark fan, too. Any kind of a decent seat was $800 plus. It's really amazing.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That is incredible. Mike, we'll see you in August. Appreciate you jumping on with us today.
All right. Thanks, fellas. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike
Palm, the VP of Operations at Circa Las Vegas, on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. I know, as I was emailing with them earlier, the dude that does the promo code stuff, he's on vacation. So because the official announcement really is the big promotion kicks off on Monday the 30th. But Mike's also going to be out. So let's announce it ahead of time.
Sure.
Get people to start planning. But I was hoping the promo code would be live today, but it's not.
Well,
the promo code Blitz.
Yeah.
And it does save you, 20% on your room. So you can book your flights. You can make all your other plans, and you can book the room now. But if you want to save money, wait a couple of days.
Absolutely. It'll be up there pretty soon. I can't wait to get back out there. It's always a lot of fun. You know what I love about Circa is the fact that the owner, Derek Stevens, he's always walking around. He's
Everywhere.
just walking around everywhere, shaking everybody's hands, and Mike's the same way. And it's just when you describe it as an every regular Joe kind of place, but high rollers feel good. It's just a place for everybody.
Well, except for kids.
No kids.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
happy
it's
about
not
that.
for everybody. It's the only 21 and up resort downtown, which makes it perfect, especially when you're out at the pool. But I mean, you're right. I mean, when we were out there in March, Derek and basically the whole staff, they were having a party in the pool.
They were.
And you're just hanging out. He's at the bar. You can go up. You can talk to him. I mean, he's got a bodyguard pretty close, but because he's when you got that kind of coin.
Sure.
But they're all that way. They're everyday people and a lot of fun, and they know how to party. I mean, they're doing a thing that's right up your alley for 4th of July. Weenies and bikinis.
What?
I mean, they're going to be grilling hot dogs out at Stadium Swim.
You think Sydney will be out there?
I guarantee.
Wow.
Sydney will be out there.
Speaking of weenies, I love wieners.
Explain that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Of weenies.
You probably.
Speaking of bikinis,
yeah.
you got Sydney. and if you're around, you won't be able to stand up.
That's what I mean.
Is that what you meant?
It's like they'll all be fully cooked.
Don't we all wish we could see more wiener?
Woo! It's going to be fun. Can't wait to get back out to Circa Las Vegas. It is just an amazing place. If you've never been there before, you got to see this place. I mean, it is really one of a kind in Vegas. There's no place like it anywhere that I've ever seen. So make your plans now. What is it? August what, Jason?
August 12. Let me find my calendar. I don't want to lie. We are live out there the 21st and 22nd. That's a Thursday and Friday.
Yep.
a lot of people, including us, we're flying out Wednesday night. So we're there Wednesday through Sunday. I was talking to one guy. He wants to come out Wednesday and he's got something on the weekend, and so leave late Friday. However you want to do it.
Perfect.
But it is so much fun.
We got a lot of folks on the YouTube page right now. Coyote 6977 says he was at Circa last week. Awesome hotel, awesome casino.
Come on back.
Absolutely, come on back. And there's a lot of people going out there. It's fun.
See, Fred wants to know, is Sydney involved?
Of course she is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Sydney's a rock.
Well, let me explain something to you, Fred. Sydney is one of many like Sydney.
Well, that's true.
Does that make sense? I mean, I'm just saying it is a target-rich environment.
Although, I mean, you look at who's on the top of the medal stand. And again, for those that were on the Blitz, she certainly is top of the medal stand for us. Although, you know, I'm trying to think. Walking around, was there one that would knock her off the medal stand? But you'd
there's
have
some candidates.
It'd be like I don't know, field day at elementary school. Everybody gets a ribbon because there are requirements to get a job there.
Well, of course there are. Yeah, that's the only place you could be kind of a chauvinist. Is that the right word?
No.
When you're hiring, who hires? I got to ask Mike and Derek. Is that job available? I'm just saying.
I'm sure it's a lady.
They got a parade across. I'm going to knock that down.
Yeah, you are. Would you stop?
I'm going to stop.
I mean, you'd have thought Greg Shelton would. I mean, you're getting too excited under the table there. For those watching on YouTube, he kicked the cord. That was what he did. Nothing else. Nothing else. Although, if you're watching on YouTube, it looked like he was a little overly excited talking about and thinking of Sydney.
Okay.
Relax. Need a cigarette?
It back together. Well, maybe. It's possible. I tell you what, I'm glad it's cool. I'm glad it's cool in here. That's good. Where is here?
Wow.
Natural Bridge Caverns. That's where we are. We're broadcasting 130 feet below the ground in Natural Bridge Caverns. And man, I tell you what, it is an experience. My first time here. I love this place. You just look around and the light show they got going on, the tours they got going on, all kinds of stuff taking place here at Natural Bridge Caverns. You didn't make plans this summer to come out here and see these fine folks. There's a lot to do and a lot of things here. No question about it. You remember Karate Kid, don't you, Minix?
Well, of course.
Well, you know the bad guy, the sensei?
Yeah.
He's really a bad guy.
Well, he had a bad moment.
He had a bad moment.
He had a Joe Namath kind of moment.
I guess that happens when you see some things that you like and that are very shiny.
You and Sydney.
Perhaps, yes. Don't let that dude anywhere near. We'll tell you what he did when we continue here on the Blitz from Natural Bridge Caverns.
Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to Ortho Now. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is on now. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
George gets justice. You've just been in an accident, and now you're asking yourself, what do I do now? you're dealing with pain, medical bills, and missing work. Dealing with the insurance company feels overwhelming. George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we're here for you. We'll listen and explain your options and fight to get you the justice you deserve. No upfront fees, no stress, just real help when you need it most. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today or visit us at getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Imagine owning coastal land with ocean views and world-class fishing just off Matagorda Bay. Well, dream no more. This Saturday, mark your calendars for a pre-4th of July one-day coastal land sale at Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point. We're unveiling incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1+ acre bay access from $49.9. Waterfront properties starting at $99.9, or with a barn dominium from just $169.9. Wow! This gated community boasts a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch with paved roads and underground utilities. It's all happening this Saturday. 1+ acre bay access from $49.9. Waterfront properties from $99.9, with barn dominium for only $169.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing is available. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Freedom starts with land, and land like this won't last long.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples. That was easy. In-store, online, and on the app.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs are said to have some interest in one Kristaps Porzingis. In fact, Jake Fisher of the Stein Line and Bleacher Report are reporting they've had exploratory interest with the Boston Celtics. Spurs also aren't playing around with that number 2 overall pick. Any team attempting to move up is being asked for, quote, a ridiculous haul. That's what one executive told Yahoo Sports, Kevin O'Connor.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You might even say it is the Blitz Underground, because we are underground this afternoon. So happy you've decided to share a part of your day with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. That's Jason Minix. James Pledger is back at the glass box of fun there at the studio. We're at Natural Bridge Caverns.
We are under 130 feet underground. Just such an incredible place. And you think about, if you haven't been out here in a while, and I haven't. And I haven't been here long enough today to really go explore, but just being where we are, you just think about just how cool this is. So if it's been a while, you come experience it again, because this really is a lot of fun. And it's 70 degrees where we are sitting right now, 130 feet underground.
You know, you don't realize sometimes, you take for granted some of the stuff that we have right here in our own backyard. And Natural Bridge Caverns is one of those things that is just a hidden treasure. But it's so cool to be underground like this and to be in these caverns. And they got a light show going on for the tours over there that just kind of, put a spotlight on all the cool stuff and the pretty stuff that's down there. It really is a remarkable place. They got a whole area upstairs when you get out of the caverns too, that you run around and some restaurants and places to get drinks and stuff. It's a cool place.
Well, it is a very cool place. So much to do out here. And again, cool that, as the tours go through here, I don't know what's going on to the right. It's a cool light show, the music, and then the video. And, when that music starts, it almost feels like you're in the movie. You're waiting for something to happen. There's another one over there where it's completely dark at some point, and you get the feeling, I don't know, where you're a little just discombobulated, but not I don't know what's the word, claustrophobic. Like,
no, not at all.
I did spend, while I was in the Navy, 3 days on the USS Pennsylvania, which is a submarine. And after about 20 minutes, man, you don't know. You have no idea, right? You don't get that feeling down here in the cavern, because I know there are some people that just have that fear. There's no reason to.
No
reason to whatsoever.
Well, they were telling me before the show started, this where we're at is actually they call it like a ballroom, but they have they can set up tables. You can have luncheons down here. They say companies sometimes will set people up and do presentations on the wall.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? Yeah. So,
I could see them putting some projectors up and watching the game.
Yeah. That'd be fantastic.
That would be
like a natural.
Now, what do you figure?
That's a great idea, Jim.
If you're watching on YouTube, let me see if I can figure this out. I'm going to move my camera around a little bit to kind of show you what. If you're watching on YouTube, go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Just the room that we're in, this is what it looks like. But when you look up at the ceiling, looks like there's like a hatch. What do you think is going on there?
Well, it's a big old rock. Is what it looks like.
I mean, it could be, but it looks like I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like it could move.
Well,
right?
that's
It'd
it.
be like a moon roof, kind of thing.
I mean, could that happen?
I don't think so. And quite frankly, I don't want it to happen. I just soon as stay right there and not jiggle or crack or creak or anything like that.
You don't like it to jiggle?
Not when we're 130 feet down. No.
No, it ain't going anywhere.
No, it's not going
pretty safe to say it's not.
You know what's cool, and I will say this because I watched this light show, and the fact that the work that they've done under here to put in the lights and the stuff to put on the show like they're doing over there is pretty cool.
Well, and you figure there's lights, there's internet, there's incredible Wi-Fi down here.
Yeah, there really is.
I mean, we got to talk to our engineer, Grumpy ass Greg Shelton. We go places where we're above ground and have trouble getting Wi-Fi. How in the hell do they get this good of Wi-Fi below ground?
That's a good question.
I mean, sometimes I wonder when I'm in an airplane, I'm in a metal tube at 35,000 feet with good Wi-Fi. Now, when the Wi-Fi is bad, you bitch, and then you go, why am I bitching? I'm in an airplane.
35,000 feet, yeah.
But when you can't watch the game, you get a little upset, right? Because technology. Yet sometimes Greg Shelton can't figure out how to get the Wi-Fi to work when we're above ground in the middle of a city.
Okay. Speaking of Greg Shelton, I got to tell you this. I just remembered it. So when I get here today, I told you I was kind of lost and looking for where we're supposed to go.
You were lost.
So I called
Breaking news.
I called Shelton's phone.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay. It goes to voicemail.
Of course.
And all it says on voicemail is no message, no callback.
That's all he says.
That's it.
That's it. Well, but Greg is true to his voicemail because 90% of his calls are spam calls. But if you get that partial message, he does kindly call the people back, tell them to F off and never call them again.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and it was grumpy as hell.
Well,
no message, no callback.
I mean, honestly, Pledge could dial the phone so everybody could enjoy it. But if he actually answers his phone, he doesn't say hello.
What? Well, especially if you or I call him.
Well,
he didn't want to hear from us ever.
See, he knew you were lost.
Well, maybe.
And he didn't know how to explain how to get here, so he wasn't going to answer the call, and you weren't going to leave a message.
Well, no, I didn't leave a message either. There is no telephone signal down here, right? No cell phone signal. So you got to go Wi-Fi. So that's how you communicate. But there is no phone signal down here.
Mine says I got phone signal.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm having to do everything on Wi-Fi.
Maybe it's part of that T-Mobile thing that T-Mobile just started that Starlink thing. No matter where you are, you can connect. I don't know, but
could be.
Mine is showing a great signal.
All right.
So we'll see.
Hey.
Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
This Cobra Kai related story is just, I don't know. It seems like you might have been rehearsing one of their weird episodes. But that dude, his real name is Martin Kove. They were at one of those fan conventions in Washington State. And Martin Kove, and there's police reports. So, I mean, and although, he is 78 years old. Which is why when I was reading this, I just had a flashback to Joe Namath on the sideline with Susie Colbert, right? But
I want to kiss you.
Yeah, exactly. So one of his co-stars in the TV, trying to find her name, Hannah Kim.
Hannah Kim,
who played Kim in the 5th and 6th seasons of Cobra Kai on Netflix. He apparently bit her on the arm, nearly drawing blood, and then tried to kiss her.
Well,
and apparently,
which came first? Did the bite come first, or the attempted kiss? I'm thinking he was attempted kiss, and she kind of had to say, "Hey, none of that," and then he bit her.
Okay, I mean, he allegedly bit her on her arm so hard it nearly drew blood before starting to kiss it in front of the bystanders. So maybe he was just trying to kiss her arm.
Maybe so.
I don't know. Her husband wasn't overly thrilled with his actions.
Well, of course not. Would you be?
No.
No, I wouldn't be either. But the police come, and she refuses to press charges, which I guess I get that, but she does. And if you're wondering who we're talking about, he was John Kreese. It was the original, and he's in the new one too. But in the original, he was the bad guy that did, No Mercy guy.
I mean, he's 78. He said they play fight all the time on the set of Cobra Kai, and he was just trying to be funny.
Yeah, well, it's not funny when you bite somebody.
Well, some people like that.
Well, some do if you're expecting it.
And while she didn't press charges, she did file a police report in case it continued in the future.
Wow.
So next season of Cobra Kai could be interesting.
Could be very interesting.
Yeah.
No question.
Now, of course, that's on Netflix. Apple TV said to be maybe one of those other possible TV partners for the Pac-12. We know they announced their deal with CBS earlier this week. The commissioner of the Pac-12 did say that they were looking for a couple other partners, and could Apple TV be one of them?
Well, and I don't know. So Paramount is streaming, right? And I think that's part of the CBS package, but they would be the streaming, I guess, the other one. So they're trying to look. This sounds like a hell of a deal that is all of a sudden popping up for the Pac-12.
Well, we haven't seen numbers yet, but if memory serves correct, the Pac-12 before it all went to hell, we're trying to get a new TV deal, and it was going to be with Apple, but they needed somebody else. Nobody else was going to pony up that kind of money, and it all went south.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Jason. I mean, what's the attraction? Yeah, Washington State and Oregon State, and then
it's live sports, man.
I guess
it's Texas State. I mean,
well, they're not there yet.
They're not there yet, but they will be, or likely to be. I think everybody just wants more sports, more streaming. There was a report this week, and I'm trying to word this properly so I don't screw this up. There are more people now watching streaming television than broadcast or cable combined.
I believe it.
So when you take about the over-the-air types, and then all your Spectrums and DirecTV types, that percentage doesn't add up to people that are watching on streaming services.
It's just too easy to do now, right? I mean, it really is. And there's so many opportunities and options and all of that kind of stuff that it's, I don't know what's going to happen in the networks. I mean, how do they stay relevant other than live sports, right? And everybody's getting into it. NBC now getting back into the basketball business. CBS, Fox, and ABC, ESPN, all in live sports business. And that's what's saving, I think, over-the-air television for now anyway. But you see the streaming services coming in and trying to do their thing. So interesting. Not sure where all that's going to go. To that point, Pacers, Thunder, Game 7, most watched NBA game in 6 years.
Which, again, when you read the article, because all we've heard is ratings have been down. So you get one game, a Game 7. Now, what's interesting is the audience held even after Halliburton got hurt. But when you look at it, what else was on? There was nothing on to compete against it. And, even those network shows, and I don't know anybody that watches network shows when they come on, but there's nothing new. It's rerun season. So when you go back and you look, if you're whatever's on NBC, whatever's on CBS, the FBI's and the NCIS's and the, Chicago Fires, nobody watches those when they're on live, right? I don't know anybody that, man, I got to be home at 8:00 because this show is on, because you watch them when you want. I know those are some shows that I watch, but I watch them when I want. You never know what night is what. And with what I have now, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I used to DVR all that when it was that way, and you would see what was new and go back and watch it, but on your time frame.
Interesting how TV has changed considerably. There's no question about that.
Although when you look at that story about the ratings for Game 7,
yeah,
and the one knock on that is because you did have two small markets that goes to a Game 7, and then they mentioned the Spurs Cavs back in 2007. Yeah, it did numbers like that. But again, most watched game, it peaked at 19.3 million viewers, averaged 16.4 throughout the night.
Well, and look, it was a Game 7.
Yeah.
And Game 7s are fantastic. It's the finality of it, right? Some people may not want to watch Game 1 or 2 because in the long-term scheme of things, what does it really mean? But a Game 7 is that finality. It's winner take all right there, boom. And I think people are interested in that.
Although, while Game 7, most watched NBA game since 2019, the 10.26 million average viewers for the full 7-game series, the least watched since 2021, down 9% from last year, and the least watched since 2007, which was 9.29 million. But that wasn't a full 7 games. That was a 4-game sweep by the San Antonio Spurs.
Interesting. I don't know. And you make the argument for small markets. There was really no villain.
No star power.
No star power. And you got SGA, but he's a quiet kind of guy. So you really had nothing. You don't have a Draymond Green who might kick somebody in the package, or you don't have some guy like that that's going to cause some problems. And I don't know. So maybe that was it. I enjoyed the NBA Finals. I did. Did you?
It was good competitive basketball for the most part.
Too,
I mean, you had the one game that was a bit of a blowout, but outside of that, 20-point leads weren't safe unless Indiana had them.
Can you hear that music?
I don't know. Pledge, can you hear the music?
Yeah, you can hear it.
We're waiting for the dinosaur to come out of the darkness.
I know, that sounds like dinosaur music.
I mean, we just saw Jaws the other night on NBC.
We did.
Well, it was on.
We did.
Did you watch?
Have you seen it? I did watch it.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
I saw some of it.
Some of it.
I've seen Jaws about 5 million times.
Well, sure. Who has?
It's still interesting.
Well,
it's 50 years old.
Which bothers me.
Well, I'm a little older than that.
Yeah,
Sheldon.
you're a lot older than that.
A little older than 50.
Yeah, you were probably old enough when that came out to go to the movie theater by yourself.
No. Well, maybe. 13.
Yeah.
I could have. I would still have to be dropped off by Daddy.
Yeah. Get the money for popcorn. Probably cost you a whole quarter.
Well, that's Daddy. Probably. It's about $2 to get in the movie theaters back then. What is it? $20 now? Something like that. It's complete chaos. Jason, what would you give up for that number 2 pick?
A lot.
You would give up a lot?
I would.
Or would you ask for a lot?
Yes.
Either way, both. Yes. What would you give up for the number 2 pick, or what would it take for the Spurs to get rid of that number 2 pick? There could be an answer to that, and it could be something the Spurs are exploring. We're going to talk about that when we return live at Natural Bridge Caverns, 130 feet below the earth. That sounds cool. Giving me goosebumps. We're talking Spurs basketball when we return from Natural Bridge Caverns right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
Rob's toes are like, I've got gorilla foot, I think is the best. They're almost permanently put into a hook 'em. That's what it kind of is. I have my right foot. It's turning into a hook 'em. Yeah. I think it's more of a rock and roll. One more Aggie curse, and thou shalt have right-footed Longhorn.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you want the lowest prices on wines and champagne shipped right to your door? TotalWine.com, America's largest independent wine retailer, ships to Eugene and Springfield. Explore our vast selection of over 8,000 wines and find something you love, all at the lowest prices for over 30 years. Whether you're looking to enjoy a full-bodied Cabernet from Paso or crisp Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, TotalWine.com has you covered with great wines and Grand Cru champagne shipped right to your door. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Shipping available on wine and champagne only. Drink responsibly. B21.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
That sounds like good cave music.
Cave music.
Cave music.
Well,
is that good or cavern music? I guess.
Well, I mean,
what's technical? Cave, cavern? Is it the same thing?
Cavern.
Cavern.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
it's not Natural Bridge Caves. It's Natural Bridge Cavern.
That is.
makes sense,
well,
right?
yeah. Although it is an all-time low for us to do the show from here. Feet below ground.
Oh, like where you went there.
Exactly.
Nice.
And that was all-time low. We got a pair of tickets to give away to see all-time low. October 26th at the Boeing Center at Techport. If you don't win the tickets, you can buy them livenation.com, but you could win a pair now. Let's see, what are we, 130 feet below?
So caller 130?
Let's go 13.
Okay, we'll do that.
We'll drop the 0 for pledge. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 13, you're going to go see all-time low in October.
This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix. And we are 130 feet. Greg Shelton corrected me. I said we're below the earth. And I guess technically we're not below the earth.
Well,
we're inside the earth, 130 feet. That's where we're at.
I think that sounds creepier.
It does. But when I said that, I was excited. We're below the earth. And I guess technically we're not.
Well,
we're inside the earth. 130 feet.
Are you a flat earther?
I'm not. No. The earth is round.
How close to the middle are we?
Well, a long way to the middle. We're only 130 feet. I don't know how many feet it is. Maybe the Albert Einstein over here can tell us since he corrected me a minute ago. 20 feet that way. Okay, so anyway, we are at Natural Bridge Caverns and having a great time out here. I'll tell you what, it is a really cool place to be. If you haven't been out here lately, you need to get out here and check this place out. Now, just being inside this cavern like this, which I guess is kind of like you could have a party in this place right here. It's like a dance floor and put a band in here. I think it'd be great. Do you guys rent that stuff out? I mean, yeah. So you can rent this place out. You can have presentations on the wall. You can eat dinner in here. You can do all kinds of stuff. Maybe some music, live music, a little dancing. It'd be kind of cool. Get the light show going over there. It really is a cool place, and there's so many things to do here at Natural Bridge Cavern. So if you're thinking about something to do, and keep in mind, it's right here in our own backyard. And that's what I think sometimes we take for granted, that stuff like this is here.
Kind of makes you wonder, if you started digging in your backyard, what would you find?
Ooh, would you find a cavern? Wow, I guess it's possible.
Somebody was digging out here and went, what's this?
What's happening here? Yeah. How old is this place? See, I need to learn these things. There's all kinds of questions, so we'll have to find out. A lot of questions about what the Spurs are going to do. I thought the draft is tomorrow. I thought with that number 2 pick, it was kind of all done. Dylan Harper from Rutgers, the guard, was going to come to San Antonio as the number 2 pick. But then you hear these reports that the Spurs they actually have a price for that number 2 pick. But according to certain NBA executives, it is a ridiculous ask.
Well, and again, which makes it certain, sort of, that Dylan Harper is going to be a Spur. But if somebody wants to way overpay for it, everything is for sale. So they're telling all these other teams, we don't want to give up this pick. And so something ridiculous would make us reconsider that. But in reality, Dylan Harper is going to be a Spur.
It looks that way. It really does. It looks that way. And that's what people have been saying. I just think that, if I think it's genius that the Spurs are putting that price out there, just in case somebody might be desperate enough to say, well, okay, we really like Dylan Harper. We really like for him to be a part of our franchise. And so if that's what it's going to take, then okay. Either way, the Spurs, are going to make that like advantage. But figure Dylan Harper, if he's the real deal, and what everybody thinks that he is, then Spurs are going to be okay, and they'll figure out how to use him. If they get a big haul, then, well, they're winners there as well.
Well, and that's it. And again, while you go, okay, do they really need a Dylan Harper? They're going to be so guard heavy with Castle and Fox. You add in a Dylan Harper, they either make it work and figure out and it does work, and if it doesn't work, somebody is going to be available that's going to get you a big haul in return. So, you're playing for the now, but also you're adding a card to your deck that could be really good for your futures as well. So it's almost taking a Dylan Harper gives you so many options down the road. It's say a no-brainer, but the low risk, high reward by selecting them, where if you pass on them and if they get the ridiculous haul in return, sure. But if not, they're not going to give this away. I mean, when I saw that Philadelphia tried to move up one spot and the Spurs said birds up to that, you realize, okay, it's Dylan Harper, it's Dylan Harper, it's Dylan Harper, but everything is for sale. And if somebody wants it bad enough and they're willing to overpay for it, then you could see the Spurs move. I also wouldn't be surprised if after the draft tomorrow night that there's movement then once picks are then, because, for the Spurs, whatever their second choice might be, depending on where they move off of that number 2 spot, there's no guarantee they could get that player unless it's a post-draft kind of move once that player has been selected. And so I could see the framework of a trade involving Dylan Harper if the other team gets the player that the Spurs want and all the other pieces are there, but the Spurs can't move out to number 2, move back and guarantee what they're going to get. So I could see the framework of a trade being worked out, but nothing finalized until the draft is complete.
And that's a good point that you bring up, because that happens. It happens quite often. It happened with the Spurs with Kawhi Leonard. So it's going to be fun to see. Let me ask you a question. Not only Jason, but everybody listening out there, whether you're on YouTube or in your car or one of the many apps that you can listen to this program on, is the Cooper Flagg number 1, the hype? Is it just not there, or is it just me? I mean, you don't hear when Wemby was the number 1, it was like, oh, Wemby this and Wemby that. And Cooper Flagg just seems to be just quiet.
I think it's a combination, not just you, but one, we knew Wemby was coming to San Antonio, so obviously here there was just so much hype around Wemby. And because he, foreign player coming over, doing all the stuff in New York, I don't know if Cooper Flagg went and threw out a first pitch at a Yankees game. I know Dylan Harper did, but at the same time, I imagine if you're tuning in and listening to any Dallas station, it's all Cooper Flagg, and the excitement level would be there. Whatever city has that number 1 pick, there's a lot of hype. And I think Wemby, Joe, just because since he was a teenager, he was pinpointed he was going to be the number 1 pick, and because he's so tall and he's so damn talented, everything that goes with it, and you get a once-in-a-generation type player like Wemby, and then 2 years later you're getting the same thing in a Cooper Flagg, that Wemby did steal some of that thunder.
Well, I guess so, and I know Cooper Flagg, and we saw him in person. He was impressive. I mean, it was really impressive, and I think he's going to be a good player in the NBA. But to me, it just seems quiet, and maybe that's the case. And you bring up a good point. In Dallas, he may be all the rage, all the talk, just like Wemby was here. It just seemed like Wemby had more, stuff for everybody across the nation. He was fascinating everybody, not just us here in San Antonio. And I just don't see the same thing for a Cooper Flagg.
I mean, Wemby is just such a freak of nature. So intelligent, so young, so good, and he was coming here. So I don't know that you're wrong in what you're feeling, but I don't know that you're right either, because we knew he was coming here. If Wemby was going to, pick another team, would we have cared as much here in San Antonio, or would it be just like what we're seeing now with Cooper Flagg and everybody else? And the fact that there is no doubt who's going number one. Just like with Wemby, there is no doubt who is going number one. So there is no intrigue in a draft. Drafts become a lot of fun when there is debate on who is going at the top. Go back at the NFL a couple of years ago. Were the Texans or the Panthers going to take Bryce or CJ? And then obviously the Texans then make the trade up and they get Will Anderson, which came out of left field. Nobody saw that coming, right? But you knew it was going to be one of those two quarterbacks going number one. And there was, while most thought Bryce was going to go number one to Carolina, there was some doubt. So that made that draft a lot of fun. This year's draft really wasn't that much fun because you knew Cam Ward was going number one to Tennessee. Nobody gives a damn about them. And then, the intrigue in this draft was more about Shedeur Sanders, not the number one pick. And that became the big story after Jacksonville made the trade to get Travis Hunter. But, the intrigue, there just doesn't feel like there's a lot of intrigue in this draft. It almost feels like it's going to go chalk.
Well, for the first two picks, and then after that, maybe it gets a little dicey and some things happen. Who knows? We'll wait and see. Does Philadelphia, do they pull the trigger? How bad do they want Dylan Harper? Will they give up the moon for him? It's going to be interesting, and until that pick is made, there's going to be some intrigue as to will the Spurs or won't they, and that's what makes it a lot of fun. Spurs, speaking of them, as they head into the draft, a lot of intrigue on a couple of big men that they could be interested in, and there are reports that say that they are. There's also been a couple of trades already in the NBA. We're going to talk about all of that when we continue live from Natural Bridge Caverns here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And, when you're down here, you're walking around, the last thing you want to do is run out of energy. You don't want to run out of energy while you're on vacation or playing golf. It's summer. You want your energy levels to stay high. You don't want low testosterone draining your energy. So it's easy to get fixed by getting TRT with Synergenics and Low T Center. You can trust the experts at Synergenics and Low T Center. They have been changing patients' lives for a combined 25 years. They understand what guys need, and no better time to start TRT than right now with a free consultation and a free T test. Fast and free because they have on-site labs to process your test quickly. And if you qualify, you can start treatment that very day. You see the online TRT services, those ads, a hassle. One, you spend hundreds of dollars and wasting time. Unreliable test kits, then you got to wait for days to get those lab results, and that's before you even begin treatment. They say you meet with the doctor. Sometimes it's not even an actual person on screen. Not really who you want to trust your health with. With Synergenics and Low T Center, you can take control of your health with the option of that white glove in-center care or medically monitored custom dose TRT at home. And if you're just looking to lose a few pounds, Synergenics and Low T Center can make that easy with prescription weight loss medication, and you'll receive a free B12 shot on the same day. Most major insurance is accepted, so you have no excuse. Book that appointment right now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, it's finally here, draft day. We'll talk all about the possibilities.
Yeah, who are the Spurs going to go with? Who are they going to pick? Are they going to pick at 14? All that, but also football. Let's talk that too. Got plenty of time to do it. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The peace lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love. And love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The Blitz Underground, 130 feet below the Earth surface. That's where we are. Natural Bridge Caverns today. The Blitz is live, and we're having a great time here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason, and 130 feet below the ground. And what I found fascinating, Minix, because you're an old man of radio. You've been doing this a long time.
I have.
And you've never been inside a cavern to do a live radio broadcast.
No, we've done the boots at North Star Mall with Ricky Ware back
inside the boots.
Oh, yeah, well, at the top of the boots, it's a platform and a whole bunch of bird crap. We've done our show in some very cool places,
absolutely,
but never here at Natural Bridge Caverns. And again, the caverns were formed by an underground river millions of years ago. They're still discovering new areas. It says, Joe, it's a living cave system.
It's alive.
It is. Can you imagine? This was discovered in 1960.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine, I don't know who discovered it, but I imagine a couple of kids probably where they weren't supposed to be. Oh, what's this? And you just keep following the trail. And all of a sudden, this is what you discovered.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to be able to discover something like this. I've never been a cave dweller, cavern dweller, or explorer type thing because I underground in tight spaces.
You'd be scared. You don't have the stones to say.
I don't.
Let's go. Let's keep going.
I don't have the stones for that. I'll freely admit that. Yeah, I don't. And I don't want to do that because you're crawling around in little spaces and it's like, you get little.
This is not a little space.
Well,
You
this
didn't
is
crawl
not.
anywhere.
Well, this is not, but I bet when you first discovered this place, you had to get through a little area to get to this big area. I've seen Indiana Jones.
Well, it's exactly what it is. I mean, you think about everything that is available to you here. I mean, and the fact that they find new chambers. Can you imagine? You feel like you know this place, and all of a sudden, where's this one been?
Well, and I feel like this is one of the newer discoveries, right? This cavern that we're in is fairly new, I guess. But I love what they do. They come in here, and I mean, again, we're 130 feet below the Earth's surface, and they've lights, and they got a light show over there, and they put in all the stuff, and it's really cool. We got another tour group coming through here.
Well, there's tours going, and here's the thing: these tours fill up fast, especially on the weekends. So book your underground adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com. You want to do that, and the Discovery Tour, the Hidden Passages Tour. There is a Lantern Tour. I
want to do the Hidden Passages tour.
Which tour are we on right now? She's not paying attention. Which tour is this right here? This is the Hidden Wonders tour. Okay. Yeah, so you could do that. And
I want to do the Hidden Passages. Is it like hidden things?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we update the notes. Hidden Wonders now.
Hidden Wonders now.
And see,
okay,
and that's the thing is all these people, they're going through the tour and then they're wondering what the hell are we doing here?
We live here, folks.
Yes.
That's what we do. We're here every day.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Greg Shelton lives here.
Yes. Come to visit Uncle Greggy.
Yes.
Yes.
Like Greg, this is right up his alley.
It is.
I mean, except for the people. Right? If people didn't walk by every 15 minutes, Greg would really love this place.
He would be happy.
Yes. I mean, he could set up over there. There's lights. The temperature is perfect. I think Josie would love this place, his station dog. I'm actually a little disappointed she's not out here.
Well, the fact that he'd have to take her 130 feet up to go potty. That'd be
he's going to take you 130 feet up to go potty.
No, fortunately for me, there's a restroom right here, right around the corner.
That's where you keep disappearing to?
Yes, it is.
I thought you were watching the light show.
No. I saw the light show earlier. It was a lot of fun. But no, there's a little restroom right behind here. And there were some people on YouTube concerned about me.
Well,
and my pottying. And so just to give you all a peace of mind, they have taken good care of me here at Natural Bridge Caverns.
Well,
and
they brought him a bucket.
Well, it's right around the corner.
Yes.
The bucket actually flushes, though.
Well, see, that's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's nice.
Who knows if you were to do something on the wall here, it could turn into a stalagmite or something.
I know. I get right here behind me.
Yeah, no.
There's an electrical box.
Yeah, don't pee on the box.
I won't. I might pee on one of them speelunkers.
No, a what? A spelunker?
Isn't that a cave explorer? A spelunker? Walks around with a little hat with a flashlight on top of it.
I thought that was Greg Shelton.
Well,
is Shelton a spelunker? He's one of those.
Shelton's got one of those things you can put on any hat, right? With elastic. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at this. Now, just to describe
turn your camera over.
Let's see here.
Put Shelton on camera with his spelunker deal.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna tell you. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this. If you're not, I'll try to describe it to you.
Now, Greg, hold on. How did Greg Shelton? You put it on Shelton, and he goes out of focus.
Well,
and then he
I'm not sure Greg's real.
Then he puts a flashlight on his hat, and you wonder why this man is single. Because he just pulls that right out of his pocket, and he's ready to go.
It does. It's got a little clip that he put on the bill of his hat.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about a Boy Scout always prepared, but I think you're not that we needed explanation because we've known him a long time, but if he's ever wondered why he can't get a date, this is why.
Well, he's fuzzy.
And again, he doesn't have that in his pocket. I just saw him, he clips it on his belt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on his belt with this little holster-looking thing.
Hold on. Let's get back over here. Hold on. I'm going to bring the camera
I mean,
just Greg Shelton, ladies and gentlemen.
Greg, I can't believe we're showing Greg Shelton's ass on our YouTube channel.
Not really.
I mean,
there's Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
I mean, he's got more stuff on his belt than a cop.
Well, he's an engineer. That's those engineer types do that.
Yeah, but he does that on a Saturday. I mean, that's,
exactly.
Wallet, keys, and I'm out the door. Chapstick. Greg's ready for anything but a date, right?
Exactly. Well, I mean,
there is a condom in there from 1987.
Well, I tell you what, if some girl saw Greg with all the stuff he's got on his belt there, I'd be scared to death. They probably got ropes and
especially when he's driving the white van.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It may never make it back.
Greg, white van school district, man. That's. Now I do know this. Greg avoids every school zone when he's in the station van for obvious reasons.
He should.
I mean, every time you see one of those TV shows and you see the dude driving it, it looks like Greg Shelton.
Greg Shelton, yeah, that's exactly right. So, I tell you what, it's a fun place to be. And Greg's going to go exploring a little bit later, I'm sure, with the light that he's got.
Oh, he could.
He could.
He came prepared.
Maybe he could find some new caves or caverns. They're going to get mad at me calling them caves.
Well, it says right here in our notes, it's a living cave system.
Yes, cave system. So I'm right.
Well, sort of. We're in a cavern that's a part of the cave system.
Well, sure. But technically, isn't this a cave?
No, I think it's a cavern.
Well,
this is the ballroom. What are you talking about?
I don't know what the difference is between a cave and a cavern.
Ask Google.
Hey, Pledge, ask Google, will you? What's the difference between a cave and a cavern?
Well, look. See, I think there's way too much light here for your friend Aaron Rodgers. See, that dude likes a dark cave. To go underground to find himself, right? That's what Aaron Rodgers prefers. That's a
weird dude.
This might be too much for one Aaron Rodgers, who did go on Pat McAfee today and, well, I don't know, kind of tell us some news about his actual future after this year in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a 1-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
Well, I mean, yeah, they do expect you to win, and if you don't, they're going to hate you. I mean, he's going to retire a Packer, don't you think?
Ultimately, he'll go into the Hall of Fame as a Packer. That just tells me that his ego is such, and I don't blame him for this, to be honest. This isn't a negative. He did not want his career to end the way things went with the New York Jets. His ego would not let him go out that way. Go to a place that you've got a chance to win, where you can play well. Has nothing to do with the organization, the iconic. It has nothing to do with the coach. It's all about Aaron Rodgers wanting to end his career. His final chapter has to have a better ending than what he had in the New York Jets. He's going to play one more year because he didn't want to go out like that.
Well, but going to Pittsburgh, I mean, you at least right now, you got to say they're the third best team in that division. You got Baltimore, you got Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Cleveland's Cleveland, and they're whatever place you want to put them. But I mean, there's no guarantee that he's going to go out into the playoffs or leading the Pittsburgh Steelers to the glory hole or whatever the case may be. Well,
because we're in a cavern, all of a sudden you're Jerry Jones.
He could do that. I don't know.
Mason glory hole.
But look, I don't give Pittsburgh much of an opportunity or chance to go anywhere this year.
Mike Tomlin always makes the playoffs.
And always loses in the first round.
Again, I think if you're Aaron Rodgers, you got to keep that going. Aaron Rodgers just wants to have a better ending to his career, his final chapter. And to a degree, for him to even announce on Pat McAfee, this is it. He wants that rocking chair tour. He wants to get honored at every stadium that he goes to. He wants the farewell tour. Some people want that. Some people don't. Aaron Rodgers does. Ego. And that's, I mean, and again, I'm not mad at him for it at all. I don't blame him. But Aaron Rodgers is doing this for Aaron Rodgers. And quite frankly, Pittsburgh needs a bridge quarterback. It's a perfect marriage.
A perfect marriage.
Pittsburgh has all you need except the quarterback, and he's a quarterback that's still better than most in the NFL.
Well, and Mason Rudolph, I will give him that, and we'll see. And you're right, he played well in New York toward the end of his career, but I just don't think that the Steelers have the help around him that will get them to where where Aaron Rodgers would like to be. So I don't think what I'm saying is I don't think it's going to end any better for him than it did with the New York Jets, although that was kind of a train wreck the whole time.
Well, and he goes to New York with the expectation that his arrival was going to equal a Lombardi trophy for the Jets, and the fanfare and the expectation. And then his Achilles goes in 4 plays. And then last year he did play well, but the team was crap. I look at Pittsburgh. They've got a great defense. And while they lost to Pickens, they added a DK Metcalf. Now, granted, the division is tough, but I don't think they're near as bad. It's a better situation roster-wise than what he had with the New York Jets. And he doesn't come in with the expectation that he is going to be the savior that's going to return an organization to glory, something they haven't celebrated since Joe Namath was the quarterback.
Be interesting to see. And if he can do something with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he'll be a hero in that town. I don't think there's any question about that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And he's a bum. I mean, okay, the guy's a bum.
I think he's a bum.
He's a bum. Come on, you know he is. And I just hope things go well. I don't want to see him go out with some problems with Mike Tomlin and again causing trouble in the locker room and all of that kind of stuff.
Imagine they don't make the playoffs and Tomlin gets fired after this year.
I could see that happening.
I mean,
there were calls for Tomlin to get fired before bringing in Aaron Rodgers.
Well, again, the expectation is what? I mean, there was a deal on social media the other day comparing career records from Mike Tomlin to Mike McCarthy, and McCarthy's was better.
Yes.
And I don't think most people realize that. And great coaches have great runs, but let's go back. I mean, you remember 88, 89, there were people calling for Tom Landry to get fired.
Yeah.
And again, because the team wasn't performing at the level of expected. Then, of course, Jerry bought the team and actually did it, and people are still mad at Jerry for that. And I get that because of the way things went down. But, you know, the guy that sold the team to Jerry, part of the deal, he was supposed to fire Tom before Jerry took over. Was chicken bleat, didn't do it, and Jerry had to because he had already hired Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, but Jerry was such a rebel back then. He didn't give a damn what anybody thought about him.
He still doesn't.
He doesn't.
He does
he
not
really
give
doesn't.
a damn.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, that's the way Jerry is, and that's all fine. Hey, we're live here at Natural Bridge Caverns, and Pledge, the producer that he is, has given us a definition or the difference between a cave and a cavern.
According to, I'm going to guess, Pledge Googled this, while often used interchangeably, a cavern is a specific type of cave, typically larger and more complex, often formed by the dissolution of soluble rock like limestone. Kind of feels like what we're sitting in right now.
Yep.
Cave, more broadly, is any natural underground void, regardless of size or formation. Caverns often feature stalagmites and stalagmites, while caves may or may not.
May or may not. So they're basically one and the same.
Well,
a cavern is just an arm of a cave.
Well, I think cave is just a broad term for it. Caverns are more specific.
All right.
I mean,
so there's really no difference. If I call it a cave, it's a cave, and that's not wrong.
Well, a cavern is a specific type of cave.
But it's still a cave, is it?
They don't call this Natural Bridge caves.
It's caves.
We're in a
caverns, which is, it's a cave.
We're in a void.
We're in a void. Whatever we're in a great place, and that's Natural Bridge Caverns, that's for sure. Great place. Come on out. Make plans to come out here this summer. You really should. Come on out here. There's so much to do. You come underground, you see stuff you're never going to see. And it's right here in our own backyard, which is incredible. You can go to naturalbridgecaverns.com to book your adventure. Come on out here and see the fine folks here at Natural Bridge Caverns. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. A lot to get into, a lot more draft talk, that's for sure. Spurs rumored to be interested in a couple of big fellas. Who could that be, and what will it take? We'll discuss when we continue here on San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
10-yard line, touchdown Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 5-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
A lot of NBA stuff going on. That's for sure as I get over to Sports Center. Spurs aren't playing around with the number 2 overall pick. Any team attempting to move up is being asked for a ridiculous haul, according to one executive. That's what he told Yahoo Sports' Kevin O'Connor. And they got a new partner today, French digital asset security firm.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great Tuesday out there, whether you're listening to us on YouTube, on San Antonio Sports Star, driving around this beautiful city of San Antonio and beyond. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are live 130 feet below the Earth's surface at Natural Bridge Caverns. First for you and for me, Jason.
Yeah, we've never done a show inside Natural Bridge Caverns, 130 feet down. Very cool riding the golf cart down because it goes fast, gives you almost like a roller coaster ride feel to it. I know you don't know anything about that because you had to hike it.
I did.
But I highly recommend the golf cart if one's available to you.
Well, they offered it. I said, I got to get my steps in.
Such a liar.
I got to get my steps in. So I walked. I said, I'll take care of it. I can do it.
Liar.
And, no, I didn't get an offer. I would have taken it.
You would have taken it.
Yes.
You should have taken it.
Well, there wasn't one available for me.
Well, you got here early.
Apparently so.
I mean, I read the email. I was driving out here, went, man, it's Taco Tuesday, exited 3009. There was a Mama Margie's right there. Hadn't been there during the daylight hours in a long time. Went and had a great lunch. You called me. I was like, where you at? And I was like, I'm having lunch. You're like, well, I'm here. Do you know where we're going? Nope.
Nobody seemed to know.
I'll meet the lady in the golf cart at the designated time.
So I get here. I park next to Shelton's van.
Yeah.
And I try to call Greg Shelton. All I get is no message, no return call. That's his message. You know, most people are like, hey, this is Joe. I'm glad you called. Happy about it. Just leave me a message and I'll get back to you. No message, no return call. Like,
and most people don't leave messages anymore, which is what's bizarre.
I'm damn sure not going to leave him one.
Well, I'm curious. Granted, I'm assuming Greg is true to his words. He doesn't call you back if you don't leave a message. But I'm really curious if he actually ever listens to the message, because when I have left him messages with details of whatever I'm calling him about, because it's never just checking on him to see what's up. It's always because, there's something engineering that needs to be fixed. So, hey, Greg, this is going on. How can I fix it? Or, can you stop by the office and fix this, or whatever it is? And when he does call you back or shows up in your office, he just acknowledges that you called, but acts like he has no idea why you are interrupting his solitaire game in the middle of the day.
Well, I get that.
So he doesn't listen to the messages. He just wants you to leave it.
He's like, does he really? I wouldn't leave him a message.
Well,
it scared the hell out of him.
But he's not going to call you back.
Yeah, exactly. And why would you want a guy that no message, no return call?
You knew what you were calling.
I don't know why it surprises me.
No, it's not.
I've just never heard a voicemail greeting, I guess if that's what you want to call it, like that. I should have expected it from Greg Shelton, but
well, you would have fell off your chair if it would have been like, hi, this is Greg. I can't come to the phone right now. Leave me a message or send me a text, and I'll get back to you at my earliest convenience.
Well, you're right. But the last thing I'm expecting is what I heard. No message, no return call. And that's it. It's no hello, goodbye, kiss my butt, nothing.
Well, he did say that. You can interpret it that way.
He could do that. You're bothering me.
Well, and again, 90% of his calls are from scammers.
Yeah.
Scam likely.
Don't we all get those?
Well, yeah, and they leave messages, and Greg calls them back because he's true to his word.
Yeah. Do you call him back, Shelton?
Shelton does. He tells them to F off.
Yeah, well.
Don't ever call me again.
Well, I like telling them that too, but I like to say it to their face.
Well, he calls them back so he can do that.
Do they actually answer? Some of them don't answer. This is a damn recording. I hate that.
Why would you call them back to find out they don't answer?
I've called them back
because you're bored
to tell them to stop calling me.
Well, they're not going to stop.
It's usually a recording anyway.
Well, the one of the best phone things is it tells you if it's a spam call. Or my mom's, it's always spam risk. That's my new best friend, spam risk. I never answer.
By the way, your ride has just arrived, Jason. The golf cart is here.
Oh, she's early. We go at 6.
It's 6.
Yeah.
So this is not the 6 o'clock cart.
No.
This is the 4 o'clock cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who that one's for.
The 406.
Yes. Yeah, that one wasn't that wasn't the lady that brought me down.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no room on that cart for you anyway.
Well, no, there won't be any on the one going back. See, I reserved a ride. It's kind of like when you're scheduling something for the airport. Your Uber at 4:55 a.m. You schedule that, and it's going to be there.
I only see 2 seats on that thing.
Well, that one's not for you.
I'm just saying.
It's not for you.
Well, do they have multiple seats?
Yes. Not for Greg. Or for you. I'm getting a ride out of here.
I don't really care because I got a nice walking sidewalk or a moving
You're going to care because once the moving sidewalk ends and you actually have to use your feet to get to where your car is, you're going to be bitching about not having a golf cart.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, the hell you don't.
You know what I did like, though, is I'm coming down on my long trek 130 feet inside the earth.
Uh-huh.
The sidewalk's going up, right? It's moving. And people were like, just the surfing USA's going off, and that's how they're doing it.
You know what
fun.
it kind of reminded. I'm glad you brought that up. You know what it reminded me of? The Super Bowl party that we went to at Universal in Los Angeles, where the escalators get you up and down the mountain. And those things, I mean, long escalator. I'm glad we weren't walking that, but almost straight up and down, and kind of messing with your equilibrium, I guess.
It was a long way.
Well, and there's a lot of drinking involved, which made it even more interesting.
You got to hang on to that thing. That was weird, and I don't know how they do that, but I'm glad they have one of these things. I mean, I couldn't imagine having to walk up that 130 feet.
You're about to learn.
No, I'm going to ride the sidewalk.
No, they turn the moving sidewalk off at 5:50.
They're not doing that.
They do.
No.
I mean, because the last tour is at 5:30. People are out, and that sidewalk
work
stops.
here now or what?
Dude, I pay attention to the tour.
5:30?
I read the notes.
What?
I mean, and not everything you do here is below ground. They got the Twisted Trail ropes course and zip rails that you can do later. Gem and fossil mining.
See,
mazes.
They've got a lantern tour.
Climbing
So I know
adventures.
they don't close at 5:30.
Well, that's not in this part of the cavern.
You can explore by candlelight for an unforgettable experience.
That still happens before 5. We come down here and you need candles or lanterns. It doesn't matter what time of day.
I guess that's
they don't have the midnight tour for you, sir.
That's true. I guess it doesn't have. There are no windows.
There are no windows. You get down here, they turn out. I mean, it's like right now it's dark over there.
It is.
And I mean, when they turn, there's another part of the tour over here where it's completely dark.
That'd be scary. You being here at night.
And the bats. The Batnado comes flying through.
I don't know if there's any bats in here, but I'm
not
saying,
in this cavern. They're in the one over
like
there.
Spooky spirits.
Spooky spirits.
I wonder if there's,
Now you're naming a cereal and a Halloween store that those will be popping up here pretty soon.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that, but I wonder.
Do you imagine if the Spirit Halloween took over this area right here?
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Dude, that would be.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I still like the man cave idea. I mean, we're actually in a cave, but I mean, if you put like recliners and stuff on the wall, that'd be awesome. I think it'd be great.
There's an interesting story developing with the Denver Nuggets and their star player, the Joker.
No.
I mean, he could be traded.
No.
I mean, the owner said so today.
Wow.
I think that for us as an organization, going into that second apron is not necessarily something that we're scared of. I think that there are rules around it that we needed to be very careful of with our injury history. The wrong person gets injured, and very quickly you're into a scenario where that I never want to have to contemplate, and that's trading number 15. And so, we're very conscious of that pushing forward and, providing the resources that we can when the moment arrives. But that second apron, is it a hard cap? I'm not 100% sure, but it's something that teams are obviously very aware of going forward.
Yeah, Josh Kroenke, who also said, we're going to offer him a contract, but we're not sure if he's actually going to accept it.
Wow.
Which makes me wonder if the Supermax is something they don't want to do.
Well, it may not be. Look, push comes to shove. That was the reason Dallas let go of Luka. I mean, they didn't want to pay the money for that guy. And I don't know, is that going to be a trend in the NBA? That's interesting. And when you're talking about Supermax contracts, Wemby's going to be eligible for a Supermax contract. What will the Spurs do in that situation? That's going to be interesting to see as well. Look, it's going to be exciting. The draft is tomorrow, first round of the draft. Then they have the rest of it on Thursday. But tomorrow's the good stuff. Spurs with the number 2 pick. But they're also rumored to be interested in a couple of other big fellas. I'm sure everybody's interested in the Joker if he were on the docket. But he's not, at least at this point in time. But there are a couple of guys that could be had by your San Antonio Spurs. We're talking about it when we return live from Natural Bridge Caverns, 130 feet below the Earth's surface. Just kind of cool. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, What if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl, and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage. Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans. Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke. Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Help UTSA football make history. Pack the Dome for the Battle of I-35 on September 6th. From now until June 26th, tickets to the Texas State game are 35% off. The Roadrunners are looking to break the all-time home attendance record of 56,743 fans set in the inaugural game in 2011. Be there. Visit goutsa.com/tickets or call 210-458-8872 to take advantage of this 35% offer. Be part of history. Birds up.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something?
Boat wins!
Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing?
Boat wins!
Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing?
Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to billshappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
Bills Happen is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to billshappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Are you an annoying coworker? Sending emails when everyone else is sleeping? Do they ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts that can help you find a better bed, like a Tempur-Pedic. It has technology to keep you cool at night, meaning anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Little Pink Floyd for you there, Minix.
Yes, sir.
How about that?
Bricks in the Wall coming to the Aztec Theater June 28th, so a couple of days from right now.
That's right.
You want to go? We got a pair of tickets right now. Caller number 9, those tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win them, you can always buy them at livenation.com.
This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are broadcasting live 130 feet below the Earth's surface at Natural Bridge Caverns. And just a fantastic place. You need to come out here and see this place. It's incredible. And this is kind of cool, I'll be honest with you. I'm enjoying being 130 feet below the Earth and knowing that when the show's over, though, I get to be on the surface.
Well, that's it. I mean, you come down, you take the tours. It's such a cool thing. And one of the things that I have noticed on the tours that go through, it's not just parents with their kids or grandparents with the grandkids. There have been a couple that I don't know there are any kids as a part of it. I mean, this is fun for everybody, and it's fascinating. And it really is one of those, you hear about it, you see about it, you've done it. I haven't been out here in so long, and driving out here, so much has changed since the last time I was out here, which honestly,
it's been a while.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And so it's incredible. Book your adventure, naturalbridgecaverns.com. When you think about there, especially on the weekends, the tours fill up fast. So, you want to book your experiences, you could do that. And, the other part too, it ain't that far out here.
No.
It is kind of crazy. Just how quickly it is. 35, 399, take a left, and it's right there.
Right there.
All right. At first it was like, all right, well, let's see, where are we going? You're not really going that far.
No, it's right
you're
here.
Really not.
Right here in our own backyard. So come on out and see the fine folks here at Natural Bridge Caverns. How do you feel about a guy by the name of Gershon Yabusele?
Well, I mean, I don't know him. It actually sounds like something that I would order at a fine restaurant. I know it's
with a nice glass of wine.
Well, that's it. I mean, I was going to say paisanos, but he's French and that's Italian. But you know what I mean. It seems like that's a dish at a restaurant.
Well, it's interesting. He is a name that has been brought up that the Spurs have some interest in. Obviously, he's a big guy. Power forward. He can play center as well. 6'8", 260 pounds. Plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. Been there a little while. Not a household name by any stretch of the imagination, probably because you can't say it. But
Yabusele.
I'll just call him Gershon.
Why? Yabusele is funner to say.
Funner?
Funner. Yabusele.
Every English teacher out there was going, yeah. And well, it's not Bill Schoening anymore. I was going to say Schoening would have a good time with that. Yabusele. A big guy. At least the Spurs are looking there. Now, there's also reports out there that they're interested in Kristaps Porzingis, more of a household name.
Well, and again, you think about what's happening in Boston right now. They know Jason Tatum won't play next year because of the Achilles injury. They have to shed some salary. Porzingis does have 1 year left on his deal, so that makes it attractive for the San Antonio Spurs if he's healthy. He missed a lot of time, illness, and all kinds of things you could read about what it could be. I don't know what the hell any of them are. But assuming he's healthy, that wouldn't be a bad move for San Antonio. The fact that they're linked to him, they've been linked to everybody. Giannis, Kevin Durant, now Porzingis, which kind of seems like an afterthought. Like, oh, Giannis, yeah. Kevin Durant, yeah. Porzingis. But it feels a need. Now, I saw a meme on social media earlier. If they were to do the deal, and Wemby and Porzingis, the front court would look like drumsticks, like in a band, a drummer, not chicken, right? Drumsticks.
Those two guys on the floor at the same time. My goodness, there's nobody getting close to the bucket. I mean, right? I mean, that would be an incredible duo, no doubt about it. I worry about his injury problems and things that he's missed a lot of games. So that would worry me. But look, I'm glad that the Spurs are rumored to be looking and rumored to be active. I love that. And we've talked a little bit about some NBA executives saying that number 2 pick is a ridiculous ask by the Spurs.
Good.
If anybody's after it, I think it's genius. At least there is something out there, because just in case somebody gets desperate enough to give you what you want, then I think that's genius that they put that out there and give people a chance to chew on it a little bit.
Well, and again, you look at that, and we've talked for months about how big this offseason is for the San Antonio Spurs. And, like any kind of name that's thrown out there, Kevin Durant, you're against it. Porzingis, guy on YouTube right now, no, want nothing to do with them. It's Brian Wright and the staff, El Jefe in the group, trying to figure out what is the best fit for now, 3 years, 5 years. And the Spurs work on a plan like that. And sometimes it drives me nuts as a Spur fan when are we ready or are we not ready? That Athletic article about Oklahoma City is, they're celebrating their championship. There is a time and when you think you're ready. Sam Presti talks in this article about the players were ready sooner than they thought they would be, and they had to speed up the timeline. And that is what I want the Spurs to do, but not carelessly. And because I expect the Spurs, their history tells us they are overly patient, maybe too patient at times, but very careful and very strategic with every move that they make. So they've got Dylan Harper tomorrow night with the number 2 pick. There were some immediately saying, you don't need Dylan Harper. You traded for De'Aaron Fox. We're going to have too many guards. What could they get for him? They're asking for the moon, which I like. Will it still be asking for the moon at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, at 6 o'clock as the draft gets started? Or do they draft Dylan Harper and everybody celebrates and you buy the shirt and you see the photos and he puts on the cap? The mural's already done. And then when the draft is over, a trade is done because the framework of a trade could be there. But if the Spurs move off of number 2, whoever they would want in the draft, there's no guarantee that player would be there. So maybe they are thinking, all right, if so-and-so, say, falls to number 8 and the Nets select that player, could there then be a massive draft night trade once the Spurs' second option was picked up by that team? I could totally see something like that happening.
Well, history tells us the Spurs have done it before. And so there's no reason to think they wouldn't do it again. That's why when everybody says this is a sure thing, and it looks like it's pretty damn close to a sure thing.
Sure.
When you're talking about Dylan Harper. But again, anything can come up. Anything can happen. And if the Spurs get a haul for this guy, then why not take it? If it benefits you in the long run, if it benefits you now, then you do it. Dylan Harper, everybody's in love with this guy, as it seems. It really does. But again, I go back to it's up to Mitch Johnson to figure it out. But you're going to have 3 guys that are very similar players, and so. You got to figure out what you're going to do with those 3 guys if that's the route you go.
Well, and again, when the Spurs made the move for De'Aaron Fox, I don't think they were planning on being in the lottery, and they were fortunate to end up with the number 2 pick. And again, we keep talking about 2. I'm still curious, what are they going to do with the 14th pick? Do they actually draft somebody, or are they able to flip that? And we talk about timelines, and coming on year 3 for Wemby. What is the timeline? You drafted Dylan Harper, and Brett Siegel from Clutch Points was talking about this with us on the Blitz on Friday. You draft Harper, and you see if it can work. And if it doesn't work, then you have some very tradable assets that you could flip into another superstar that might be a better fit. It just gives you more options going into next offseason. My focus has been on this offseason, but you wonder over there at the Spurs headquarters, are they looking at this offseason, but really is it another year or two? Because they never really tell us what is their timeline of when they think they are going to be ready and able to compete for a championship. In other words, is Peter J. Holt going to authorize going into the luxury tax if this team can't actually compete for a championship? If they feel like this is a roster that can compete for a title, not saying they'll win one, but it legitimately compete for one, then yeah, we'll pay the tax. And they've done that. They've done that many, many times in the past.
They have done that before. Look, what scares me a little bit, and this might blow you away, Jason, the fact that they did pass on Kevin Durant. Does that tell you anything? Does that tell you, was a Durant a piece that would have gotten you, I don't know, deeper into the playoffs versus, I don't know, just going with a Dylan Harper, picking at 14 and trying to continue this build that they're going on? I don't think that's the case. I think they're going to be active and do something. What that is and how big those moves are, I don't know. The fact that they're rumored with two big guys right now, I think is encouraging to me. But I want to see them add in some pieces. And I truly believe with a couple of additions that would fit a need and guys that can spread the floor, shoot, another big guy, I think this team can compete and be a playoff caliber basketball team this year.
I agree. I wanted Kevin Durant, but I didn't want to overpay for him. And the Spurs made an offer, so there was interest there, but they did not want to sacrifice whatever those future plans were and those assets for Kevin Durant. And R.C. Buford today did an interview with that French news outlet, L'Equipe, and he said on chasing a superstar in the market, quote, "We believe we already have some elite players. We're not going to skip steps, go back to the long-term vision that's brought us success in the past." So, again, maybe kind of like Oklahoma City, kind of like Indiana, we can get a nice player that isn't necessarily a superstar at superstar salary. Can we now? Durant's just such a natural bucket getter, 27 points a game. You might not get that, but if you get 18 to 22 from somebody else at half the salary, can you get by with that? Because you do have Wemby, superstar in the making. You do have De'Aaron Fox, all-star. Steph Castle, superstar in the making, possibly. Dylan Harper, when they draft him tomorrow night, potential superstar. When you're a top pick like that, expectations are that's what you're going to develop into. So maybe going out and trading for one, that just isn't the Spurs way. And listening to RC in the transcriptions anyway, because he does an interview with a French outlet. Now, granted, they had a big press conference today with a New Jersey patch sponsor. That's a French company, the Wemby effect, if you will. But you just look at that and you go, okay, the Spurs are going to do things the Spurs way. They haven't changed that aspect, even though the big three are long gone.
I just said bad word in there, or bad phrase. We're not going to skip steps.
Oh, yeah.
That just drives me insane.
Well,
because I don't know what it is.
They can't talk about anything without skipping steps.
But I don't know what that means.
Well, it's like
what are the
a
steps?
cavern.
Can you lay out the steps and tell me what the hell you're talking about? I mean, seriously.
I mean, it's the Spurs. They keep everything close to the vest. Skipping steps. I'm done. I mean, I feel like we're at the top of the staircase by now. And, it's not about building now. It's about finishing out. The house is built, buy the furniture, set it up, live in this thing, and let's go win some damn titles. At least compete for damn titles. Get into the playoffs. Let this young group experience what it's like playing playoff basketball. I mean, I would like to think Wemby knows how, but one of the cool parts about Oklahoma City winning was those dudes talking about not even knowing how to celebrate, popping champagne bottles. I heard Rob Thompson talking about this morning. It reminded him of the Spurs in '99. Those dudes won a title in New York City. What'd they do? They went back to the hotel room, they had wings, and they played video games. Right?
Well, yeah, a lot of those guys did. But, I mean, keep in mind that 99 team had a mix of veteran players on it as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they had some young guys on that team for sure. But they had some guys. Mario Ellie comes to mind. I mean, they had some veteran guys on that team. And it wasn't built because these young guys grew up and all of a sudden became something. There were pieces added. And so this is what baffles me. And it always will until somebody can explain it to me, because no one can explain what skipping steps or not skipping steps means. It just, I don't know what the steps are. Is the steps draft and develop? Are those the steps? Or are the steps what? Having young guys and intermingling vets? I don't know what it means. And I just think it's a cop-out when teams, whether it's the Spurs or otherwise, say we're not going to skip steps. Well, what the hell does that mean? Nobody can explain it to me.
No, and again, I think it's their way of saying they're not telling you.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
What it really does do, rightly or wrongly, is lower expectations, right? When you're talking about we're still building and we're not skipping steps and we're going to be patient and we're going to do this, that does lower expectations as opposed to, all right, we're ready. Like, even if they are ready, I don't know that they would tell us. Sam Presti, what did he say on the podium? Man, this happened quick. Dude, it didn't happen quick, right? But in your mind, maybe it did because you were patient and you had a patient owner where you knew you weren't going to get fired because you weren't winning fast enough. Not every ownership group is that way. And the Spurs, very patient. Peter J. Holt, very patient as an owner, and all the other owners that they have follow his lead. R.C. Buford, as long as he's there, he's there. Popovich, obviously very patient, although I don't, you talk about trying to understand an answer from R.C. Buford, and again, this is from his interview today with the French outlet. The uncertainty regarding Greg Popovich's future, the answer is Pop will always have a strong presence here. I think we're eager for him to engage in the ways that are best for him, and we are still learning how that will look. So while they're getting ready for the draft, even though he had the shirt that said El Jefe and he's got the title, I wonder how involved he's been in this draft process and what his day-to-day looks like, or decisions still being run by him, or is it really RC and Brian Wright and now Mitch Johnson?
Well, I think it's the latter. I do. But I think you could say, hey, Pop, what do you think? What do you think about this guy or Porzingis or Dylan Harper? But, take a look at because Pop can still do all of that stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, I like this guy and he could fit here and we could do this with him and we can, put the pieces in place. I believe Pop's involved like that. The decisions are ultimately, though, I believe, left up to Brian Wright and R.C. Buford, and with Mitch Johnson having a say-so in what he wants as well.
Well, and again, for ego isn't the right word, or is it? He's got the title, the president of basketball operations. He's got the T-shirt made that said El Jefe. Kind of sounds more like he's a consultant.
That's what I think.
And again, he doesn't want to retire. He still wants to be involved. What can they do to allow him to still be a part of everything? But Pop will always have a strong presence here. Duh. Eager for him to engage in the ways that are best for him. So it makes me wonder if is he sitting this one out? He's been a part of the planning process for a long time. But, dude, we were there. Any talk of him actually returning to the sidelines this past year, which we heard,
there was no way.
Never going to happen.
Never.
But I do wonder, is he going to the office every day? 4 hours, 2 hours, 9 hours? I mean, how much
I don't
film?
think so.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And again, but it almost makes it seem like he's not fully a part of the decision-making process right now.
I don't know.
Which makes sense, too.
I like the term consultant, and I could see that happening. Pop, what do you think about this guy? I mean, because obviously the guy's got a basketball mind.
Yeah.
He's good at what he does, and he can spot talent. That's been proven over the years. So I think in that a consultant is where he can help and help them make decisions or just give them what his thoughts are on a particular player. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night in the draft. And I'm curious if anybody can explain skipping steps. I wish you would, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're out driving around on the phone lines at San Antonio Sports Star, 656-3776. Let me know what the hell that means because I don't have a clue.
Well, let's rephrase this. What do you think it means, skipping steps?
Not skipping steps.
Not skipping steps. Yeah, not skipping steps. When you hear that in your mind, you know what Joe thinks, you know what I think. There is no real definition, but when you hear that from an organization, especially the Spurs, how do you interpret that? To me, it's about lowering expectations for the year. We're not ready yet. We're not going to skip steps in the process.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a bad move. Do you read it that way? Do you hear it that way? How do you guys hear it?
How do you hear it? And LeBron James has some thoughts on Cooper Flagg going number 1 to the Dallas Mavericks. We're discussing all of that and a lot more here at Natural Bridge Caverns. We are live here 130 feet below the Earth's surface and having a great time at Natural Bridge Caverns. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, I know you guys listen every day. How often do you pay attention? Like a Ramiro Soso sent me a message on Facebook earlier today, 129. Hey, man, what's the AC company with that $77 special? It's Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. And their Lucky Sevens AC tune-up for $77 runs through July 4th. So you can hit the jackpot with comfort. 7-point AC inspection that keeps your system running cool and smooth. And again, you know it's going to be hot soon. You want to make sure your AC is ready. If you're thinking it needs a tune-up, it probably does need a tune-up. If it's been a while since you've had it tuned up, you do maintenance on that thing, you want it to last because, that's what they do. And those great maintenance programs do help with that. Take advantage of the special. $77 for a 7-point AC inspection. Call Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899. 651-5899. That's for the maintenance part. Something goes wrong, emergency situation for you, and again, you're calling, it's an emergency. In your world, that's a big deal. In their world, it's just another day that ends in Y, and they are experts at worst-case scenarios. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They've got an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and they are green certified. For your plumbing issues, AC maintenance, call Quarter Moon, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, it's finally here, draft day. We'll talk all about the possibilities. Yeah, who are the Spurs going to go with? Who are they going to pick? Are they going to pick at 14? All that, but also football. Let's talk that too. Got plenty of time to do it. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Thank you for making Total Wine & More America's #1 online source for spirits, beer, and wine. Better than all those delivery apps. Total Wine's prices are up to 30% lower with super fast delivery and no hidden fees. Order direct at TotalWine.com and pay less today.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, 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 and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, who's a good boy? Oh, who's what? Oh,
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Good stuff. Apparently it is it's raining in San Antonio.
It is?
Yeah, we wouldn't know. This is, Jason, being here at Natural Bridge Caverns, it's kind of like being in the studio.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of, right? No windows?
No, we have no idea about the outside world, except for we do have a really good idea here of the inside world.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. We are live at Natural Bridge Caverns, by the way, and loving it. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Glad you were spending a part of your day with us here because, we appreciate that. And people are trying to explain to me what skipping steps means that they think it means. Jacob Eric, I think, is maybe has something. He says, who are we kidding? We ain't skipping steps is a nice way of saying we're going to suck.
Well, it lowers expectations.
Well, and you said that, and I guess that's what it is. But I just don't understand what that means, because obviously they've got a plan in mind, right? I mean, the Spurs aren't just willy-nilly firing away and doing this and that. They've got a plan, and whatever that plan is. But I know that Wemby's going into his third year in the NBA. I know he was hurt. He missed some games last year with the blood clot. I get that. But still. This guy, he's a player. He fits. He belongs. So I don't think there's any question about that. And I know Pop said when he came in, we're going to see what he's like and all of that. But this guy belongs, and this guy's ready to run. And I just feel like sometimes they've got him bridled up a little bit, and they're not allowing that process to take place.
Well, it's interesting because the process. And again, we're not going to use the phrase trust the process either, right? But that's almost like skipping steps. But he is such a unique talent. And, that first year, let's see what he's like as an NBA player. Projections are what they are, but let's get him on the floor against NBA talent. Watch him closely, study everything. I'm sure analytics has a lot to do with it. His team to make sure he stays healthy. Just hearing him talk over the weekend at that Fan Fest about watching gaining weight with so many eyes on him his term to make sure he could gain weight. He's gained 35 pounds muscle, but with gaining weight without causing him to lose any of his athleticism, how his frame handles that kind of weight, right? Like, I'd be stunned one day if he showed up looking like Kevin Willis, man. His frame, wouldn't allow that. He's not going to turn into the Joker. But you go back and you look at what Giannis looked like when he got to the league and what he looks like now. But he's almost like a science project. And, they've got to mold and develop. And if they're sure that he is here for the long haul, so when it's time to sign his extension, there will be no issues, and he's going to get every nickel coming his way, they can be a little bit more patient than fans. And by all accounts, Wemby and his team are on board with the Spurs plan. If they weren't, I think he would see some things change. And their track record says that they know what they're doing in building and maintaining winners. And the idea is to get to a championship level and then have that for a decade if you can do that. Where they spend their money, where they commit their money, and you go back to Kevin Durant. Maybe part of the whole, we're not going to up our offer for Kevin Durant because we really don't want to spend $50 million on a player that's going to be here for a couple of years that doesn't get us a title. If in their mind they aren't a title team in the next 2 years, is it worth giving Kevin Durant $100 million?
No, it's not. And we talked about that Kevin Durant was not the piece that was going to put this team over the hump. Now, he may be the piece that puts the Houston Rockets over the hump. I think that's a better fit, in my opinion, for him than he would have been with the Spurs. So, but look, Wemby is in his third year. And if you just join us, we say this because R.C. Buford did a interview with L'Equipe.
Yeah, if that's how you
whatever
say
it is, whatever it is,
a French outlet.
The French outlet, and he brought that same thing. We're not going to skip steps. And so obviously in Spursville, when at the Rock, they've got a chart or something that says we're doing this, 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 and this, and this year, that year, next year, 3 years from now, whatever the case may be. I fully believe that they do that, and they've got a plan in place. Whether it's up on a wall or not is remains to be seen. But I'm just saying they have a plan. But we're part of the not skipping steps, De'Aaron Fox, or did that change? Him becoming available and wanting to play in San Antonio, did that change something on that diagram that the Spurs have and that plan that's in place?
You almost wonder if that was kind of part of the plan. And because, I mean, there's been talk about, you go back to Lauri Markkanen, you go back to, they get De'Aaron Fox knowing that they're going to pay him. They don't make that trade without knowing they're going to pay him. But they didn't give up much for De'Aaron Fox. And again, we'll never know. It's kind of like Des caught it. We'll never know. But I thought that move, you get De'Aaron Fox when they got him, that was the difference between being a play-in team and a playoff team. And then, of course, Wemby had blood clots and, everything went to hell. But I think the plan was, let's get into the playoffs. And I look at the, day before the draft, and again, draft is tomorrow night. They're going to take Dylan Harper. But the roster they have right now, I think, is a playoff team. Is it a team that could go win a championship? No. But can they be good enough to be one of the top 6 seeds? I think if you take what we saw from Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and the expectation of what he and Wemby can do together, even with the Devin Vassell and a Keldon Johnson and a Jeremy Sohan, I think that is a team good enough to get into the playoffs in the Western Conference. Compete for a title? No. But I think that was the first step of saying, all right, we're ready to go compete in the post, making the move for De'Aaron Fox last year.
And so you just you're taking your time. So you get in the first round, you lose. Okay, well, we made it. Now we've got that experience and we can, add pieces to the puzzle. I guess I'm impatient, and I don't want to wait until, and again, and I highly doubt this will happen, but it's out there, and it is a possibility that Victor Wembanyama will not be a Spur for life. That is a possibility that we have to deal with.
Sure.
So everybody assumes that this guy's going to be Tim Duncan. He's going to stick around, Monty Ginobili, Tony Parker, and he's going to be here forever. And while that is probably the case, it's not a guarantee. And so how long do you want to wait around for this guy to get him to where he wants to be before he starts looking at, I don't know, the Lakers or Philadelphia, whatever, and saying, they've got a better opportunity to win a championship than we do right now. I'm going to go play there.
I want to believe that if there was any indication from Wemby that the Spurs would react accordingly. That said, as young as he is, you look at Anthony Edwards. That is a team that's gotten to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. Can they take the next step? You saw an Indiana team take the next step. You saw Oklahoma City this year. Last year, everybody thought they had a chance to go win it. Last year, they got bounced in the second round. This year, they win a championship. But as young as Wemby is, the question becomes, do you think he wins a title before he is 24, 25 years old? Is that how they're looking at it? Let his body mature a little bit more. He's already a mature kid, but one of the things on Anthony Edwards is always maturity type questions. And, when you're that young, when are you expected to go win? I mean, Luka, before 25, drug his team to the NBA Finals. Didn't win, but he literally put that team on his out-of-shape back and took them to the NBA Finals, right? And then they trade him, which still makes no sense. But as young as he is, if you're the Spurs, and I'm not saying what I think I'm thinking, I'm saying what I think the Spurs are looking at. At his age, if they do this in their minds the right way, very strategic, financially responsible, and they're winning titles when he's 24, 25, 28, 30, that's better than trying to win it when he's 21, 22. And then you're in salary cap hell and you can't pay everybody. And, because I'm guessing, I kind of feel like I'm sounding like Jerry Jones for 2 years. What did we hear, Jerry? Well, we can't spend money because we got to pay Dak and we got to pay CD and then we got to pay Micah, right? So they were budgeting for that. I got to believe the Spurs are doing something similar.
Well, I would think so. And they extend De'Aaron Fox. Everybody, I believe they will. I don't think they brought him in here just for last year. I think they extend him. So there's one big contract you're going to have to deal with. And then you got Wemby coming up that you're going to have to deal with. If you get a Porzingis in here, has been talked about, do you extend him? He's got 1 year left on his contract. Yeah, so those contracts and big money are coming sooner than you think, and that's why I don't see a plan. And I've heard other people, whether it's on YouTube or Twitter or wherever it is, that the Spurs aren't going to be a legit playoff team for another 2, 3, 4 years, and I just can't see that happening. Not in today's NBA. I just don't see it happening. Things are so much different now, and teams can improve. And again, I'll just go back to the Milwaukee Bucks. They were supposed to be the dynasty team after they won their championship. Denver, supposed to be the dynasty team after they won their championship. Now it's Oklahoma City. They're going to win so many championships. It just doesn't work that way anymore. And so I just think you can improve teams now quicker than you used to be able to do it. And I just don't see the Spurs being that team that's not going to skip steps and wait another 2-3 years before they say, okay, now we've climbed all the steps and we're ready to go.
Now, you talk about trying to figure out what skipping steps mean. On Twitter, @soy_Eloy puts this in a way that maybe you could better relate to. He tweets, skipping steps would be like @JoeReinagel2-0, putting gel in his hair before blow drying it. Might look okay, but wouldn't be great.
No, it would look fantastic, Eloy, and I don't know what you're talking about because I do skip steps all the time. I wake up in the morning, dude, it just goes, falls perfectly. I put a product in this hair?
Dude, I've seen you in the morning. You put more product. Your hairspray bottle is the size of a fire extinguisher that's hanging on the wall in every restaurant.
True. That's absolutely true.
Your hairspray does not fit on a carry-on bag.
Can't do that, no. Well, I don't think anybody's hairspray does unless you go get the little bottle, but mine is a jumbo. And
I have the little, and you can travel with it.
I do.
The problem is that wouldn't get you through one day of vacation.
No, the little one?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. I'd have to have 3 or 4 of those. So I get what you're saying, Eloy, but no, my hair's spot on, buddy. Whether I put gel in before I blow dry it or not. I've done that before.
You put gel in, do you blow dry your hair and then gel it, or do you gel it and then blow dry it?
I don't gel at all. I don't do that. But I've done that before. You put that mousse stuff in there or a little bit of, styling gel in. I've tried all that. I don't like stuff that makes my hair feel greasy.
So you blow dry it, comb it, brush it.
Then go with the hairspray.
Kill the ozone.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've taken a chunk out of the ozone.
Well, you have.
I guarantee you, I have. Absolutely.
I mean, we have shared many houses on the road, and you can always tell when Reinigle is doing his hair. As a girl dad, we can all relate to at times when the kid's getting ready.
Right, exactly. But that's the way it is. And hey, hair looks great. Although this humidity in here at Natural Bridge Cavern is taking its toll on me. It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like by the time we get out of here.
It's going to look exactly the same.
Well, it probably will, but it might look a little damper, greasier, perhaps. I don't know. It is humid in here, and that's just the way that it is because Greg Shelton is a little wiener, and he got cold and turned off the fan.
Hair tips with Joe Reinigle.
I love wieners.
Blitz.
We are at Natural Bridge Caverns today, 130 feet below the Earth's surface. That's what we're doing here, and having a great time doing it. And again, check out Natural Bridge Caverns. If you want to find out all the stuff that they do, you can go to naturalbridgecaverns.com. LeBron James talking about Cooper Flagg. We're talking about that and more draft talk. And what does skipping steps actually mean, or not skipping them? I don't know. Either way, let me know what you think here on San Antonio Sports Star. We'll be right back.
And now I know tomorrow you're going to want to skip over to the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Blitz will be live there 2 to 6 tomorrow, leading into draft night. Added bonus, it's a Wednesday. That means steak night at the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Steak night, you get that great 12-ounce ribeye. It is a fantastic steak. Yeah, you get your potato, you get your salad for $19.95. You can't beat steak night at the Rue Pub. You heading out there tonight? Food's fantastic, man. You got the biggest and the best wings in town. I love the fried shrimp. They got about 15 different burgers on the menu. The hot dogs are fantastic. The appetizers, Pledge tells me the salads there are wonderful. The Rue Pub, no better place to go hang out and watch the draft tomorrow as the Spurs take Dylan Harper with that number 2 pick. They have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. Tomorrow's steak night, draft day, Blitz 2 to 6, just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
At Natural Bridge Caverns, the passage of time and moving water have carved out a massive underground creation. Hidden Wonders, our newest cave tour. Watch thousands of lights reveal otherworldly sculptures in a massive canyon with a sound and light show finale. Or visit the largest of our 2 caverns with a discovery tour, winding through majestic rooms with incredible formations. Above ground, top off your adventure with a zip along the sky rails on our towering ropes course. Choose your adventure at naturalbridgecaverns.com.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Are you an annoying coworker? Sending emails when everyone else is sleeping? Do they ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts that can help you find a better bed, like a Tempur-Pedic. It has technology to keep you cool at night, meaning anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Are you an annoying coworker? Sending emails when everyone else is sleeping? Do they ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts that can help you find a better bed, like a Tempur-Pedic. It has technology to keep you cool at night, meaning anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs have a new partner today. They reached a deal with a French digital asset security firm, Ledger, to be the new jersey patch sponsor. Spurs were one of three teams without a jersey sponsor last season, along with the Hornets and the Clippers. Well, according to Jake Fisher of the Stein Line and Bleacher Report, the Spurs have had exploratory interest with the Boston Celtics on center Kristaps Porzingis.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz, and we're in a very unique spot today, Natural Bridge Caverns. That's where we're broadcasting live, 130 feet below the Earth's surface, in a cavern or a cave.
A cavern.
Cavern, cave, whatever you want to call it, that's where we're at. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is here as well. James Pledger is producing this fine show, and we're happy to have you along on this Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, it's an interesting Taco Tuesday because in all my years in radio, we've never done a show this far underground, at least not knowing that we were this far underground. You know, earlier today we were talking with Mike Palm, the VP over at Circa Las Vegas.
Yep.
And he said something that got me thinking. You think about the sports book there at Circa Las Vegas. It's built a couple stories underground.
Yeah, it's true. It is.
But because you could see light and there's walls, you don't think about you're doing a show underground. Technically speaking, right?
Yeah.
But this 130 feet underground, and it's incredible. It's 70 degrees where we are right now. Humidity is a little bit high, but it's 70 degrees, perfect. And this is cool. Just coming out. You don't just kind of come out. You explore. It's an experience here at Natural Bridge Caverns. All the different tours that they have, and admittedly, it's been a long time since I've been out here. And just driving out here, seeing all the new stuff. So if you did this, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years, get back out here, man.
Yeah.
This place is awesome.
It really is awesome. And so much to do. Not only the tours underground, they have stuff to do on top of the ground as well. So it just come out and make a day of it. I had a chance when I was a little bit lost earlier today to see some of the above ground stuff.
Did you go zip lining?
No, I didn't, but I could have. I was looking for this and where to go, but they do have the zip rails, right? They do have that. They've got gym and fossil mining where you get your hands on and get dirty and mine for stuff. They got mazes and picnic areas and all of that kind of stuff. So whether you want to be underground or above ground or both, doesn't matter. You can do it all here at Natural Bridge Caverns.
NaturalBridgeCaverns.com. Get your tickets in. From what they tell us, and we've seen it, it's a Tuesday. Those tours, they fill up.
They do.
So plan ahead and book your tickets to get out here. And the other part that I've noticed, it's not just a bunch of like parents with their kids. I mean, there's been groups where there's not a single kid in the group. I mean, now we're all kid at heart.
Sure.
But not a lot, but it's pretty fascinating. And this light show that's happening over to our right, which, you listening on the radio, that doesn't mean anything to you, but there's a crazy light show and video, and it's pretty wild.
Well, it's pretty, right? The lights are nice. They shine on the rocks and all the stuff, whatever you call it. And as they do that, it kind of shines and enhances that. So they do it right here. And what's fascinating about this place is that not only are we 130 feet underground, but the way they've got this place wired and with the light show over there and it's the amount of work they've done and put into this place is amazing.
It was discovered in 1960, Natural Bridge Caverns. That's obviously, it's been formed forever, but it was discovered. And then somebody had the idea of, well, let's turn this into an attraction.
Yeah.
Imagine the first guy starting to drill a light into the wall down here, wondering what the hell is going to happen. Right. I mean, because I look around, like where we are, apparently at one point this all fell down. So we're like on the rubble of an old ceiling. And it created this void, if I understood the lady correctly. Well, they came in, they put in some cement, some rails. I'm like, oh, what's over the rail? It's the rest of the rubble.
It is.
Yeah. Well, it is, right? If you like landscaping, this is great, man. If you're looking for limestone for your yard, I wonder if that. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, the idea that they have constructed all this. When I was on the golf cart coming down here, it was almost like a roller coaster ride, but I mean, it was smooth. I mean, it's like, imagine the construction guys going, all right,
Was it going fast? The golf cart?
Well, it was golf cart speed.
Well,
I mean, it was fun.
I've been in some golf carts that are pretty fast and some that aren't. Some of them have that governor when you go downhill.
Well, we're going downhill 130 feet, man. I won't say it was slow. She wasn't riding the brake. She knew what she was doing, and there was a tour that was coming up that had to stand against the wall as we zip by them. I mean, I went by them. They were like, fans at the Indy 500.
Well, probably not.
Well, let me think that. I wasn't driving. I was riding. It was fun.
All right.
I had a nice ride down here. What was it like walking down to this place?
Well, it was long. So that's what it was. It was a long way.
At what point did you think, am I ever going to get there?
Well, no, because when you first start, it's like the entrance to where we're at is a long way away. And then it slowly gets closer. And I mean, it's steep coming down. I mean, it's not obviously level because you got to go down, but.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, it was.
That made a ton of sense.
Dude, it was.
Hey, that's brilliant, Ryan Nagel.
It was interesting, and luckily for people, you don't have to walk. You can, I guess, if you want to walk back up it. If you want to get your steps in and exercise a little bit, but they have a moving sidewalk that takes you up if you'd rather do that.
So you walk down right over here
where
because it's really the exit. So I don't know what it's like on the entrance to this for the tour. See, we drove through the exit.
But I think the tourists have to go back up that way.
Well, yeah, it's a tour. I mean, I mean, the thing that I'm surprised you don't exit in a gift shop. But I'm sure it's nearby.
Well, you know what they do, because I was standing out there when they did it. They take pictures.
Oh, sure.
And so you get your picture when you get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
and they look cool.
Well, I don't know. Where are they taking pictures?
On the tour.
I know, but is it like riding a roller coaster where you get your picture taken?
I'm just gonna take a guess. Now, there's a guy from Natural Bridge Caverns here that will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna guess at certain points during the tour, they have photo opportunities and Natural Bridge Caverns professional photographers to take your photo at the right spot to give you the cool background with the lights. And then when you get up to the top, you get to see the photos and purchase them.
Well, I worry about that.
Am I right? I'm right.
When you're on a roller coaster, you're not thinking about stuff like this, but you're walking around, you might be having a finger up your nose or scratching your behind.
See,
those pictures, I mean,
there are people on roller coasters that know they got to look for the camera at a certain spot, and they make the weird face when they do it. It's the guy that's scared to death at that face that goes viral on social media. On the roller coaster.
Sure. Or got their eyes closed. Yeah, I mean, you got to be cool on a roller coaster.
Well, that's it. But you know where the photo is going to be.
I don't know where that. Usually at the end.
Look, your awareness we've questioned many times, but most people when they get on the roller coaster, they know where the camera is going to be, and there's probably a sign, smile, because they want to sell you a good picture.
What do you think I haven't seen a sign around here that says smile.
You haven't gone anywhere except from the bathrobe
I
and
saw
over
the light
here.
show today, and there was no sign over there.
I'm sure the photos are over there. Where? How many camera stations are there for you guys?
One.
There's one.
Oh.
And is it that way or this way? It's in the beginning.
Oh, in the
It's
beginning.
down that way. And you didn't come from the beginning. You came in the exit.
I did. And I went down. Have we established that yet? Yes, I did. We're 130 feet down. It was a long way. Long way going down.
Can we get a golf cart to drive Joe to the picture spot so he can get his photo? We know how Reinagel is. Well, his hair still looks good. He needs to get a photo. But he doesn't want to walk.
It always looks good.
Does it?
Of course.
Your hair? It does always look good, you son of a...
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's been a lot of fun here, though, at Natural Bridge Caverns. And so 100 feet below the surface.
130 feet.
And then this does look... As I'm looking up, if you're listening on the radio, I just want to tell you how they've cleared that out. That looks like just a big, giant rock.
Well, it is. I mean, you realize we are inside of a big, giant rock.
That thing's not going anywhere, is it?
Well, if it does, we're never going to be able to tell the story about it.
Well, you're right.
I mean, if now...
Well, I mean,
sometimes, Joe.
But I mean, the rest of it does. That looks like a rock you'd find on the ground, right? Like a big one.
Well, I mean, when you get back topside, you'll see the other side of that.
You think so?
I mean, but it does because it doesn't have the limestone over it.
Right. Exactly.
It almost looks like. I'm trying to think of something that would make sense to you. I mean, everybody listening can understand this, but sometimes when you see like I'm trying to think of what hotel I was in where there was like the drive-in area, the carport area. They had a pool on that level of the hotel, but you could drive underneath and kind of see below, but underneath it almost looks like a bladder, if you will, like the bottom end of the pool.
All right,
that's what that
kinda
rock
what it
looks like. I mean, but you're thinking you could just put a needle in there and all this water is going to drop out. Is that what you're thinking?
No. It looks like one of those rocks you find at the lake where you can just kind of skip it across the.
Dude,
but
how big would you have to
size.
be to skip that rock?
But you know what the rock I'm talking about. It just looks like a giant version of that.
It's a flat surface.
That's a rock.
It is a big rock.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you understand.
We're seeing the bottom half of a big rock.
Have you never seen the bottom half of a rock before?
Well, I'm sure I have, but I didn't pay attention. I mean, I wasn't staring at it all day. There's a
the ass end of a rock, man.
Well, how do you know that's the ass end?
Well, but
that could be the top of it. Dude, you guys,
that could be the top of it.
Y'all have no imagination. That's the problem.
We have no imagination.
I mean, if this rock fell and it just happened to turn upside down, that could be the top of it. And if it was a rock, and you wouldn't know what's the top and the bottom. You guys, you got no imagination. I'm telling you.
You have no. Are you going to tell me now it's a weather rock too?
A weather rock.
Is it raining outside?
A rain rock? I don't know. Wrong department, buddy. You call Bill Taylor.
I thought you were Bill Taylor.
Well, I've been mistaken for Bill Taylor before, but I'm not. The whole point of that conversation was that's a pretty cool place.
It is a cool place.
That's a pretty cool place.
A lot of rock features that you could look at that are much more interesting looking than the flat surface of a big rock that we're sitting under right now that I'm hoping falls on Reinagel.
Well, if it falls on me, pal, you're going with me.
I mean,
we're all done. And everybody over there too, and Shelton included.
I'm just hoping your hair, when it hits your hair, it would break all around us.
It might crack the boulder, right? It's possible, but let's not test that out. Hey, well, we're live here at Natural Bridge Caverns today. We're going to be live at the Roo Pub tomorrow. NBA Draft is tomorrow, and it's going to be very exciting, and that's a great place to be. Plus, it's steak night. It's Wednesday.
Tomorrow?
Wow.
Yeah.
I know what I'm having.
Exactly.
I'll be having a steak. You can bet on that. We'll be out there 2 to 6 tomorrow at the Roo Pub. Make plans to come join us out there. Today, though, we're at Natural Bridge Caverns, and we're having a great time out here, and you need to check them out as well. When we come back, I've been teasing this LeBron James thing. Why do you hate LeBron James?
Why do you hate LeBron James?
Why do you hate him?
I don't hate LeBron James.
I've been teasing it for 2 segments, and you go off on a tangent about a rock.
Dude, you're the one that got fascinated by a rock.
Maybe we'll talk about LeBron.
Because you didn't realize that was a rock.
Maybe we will. I don't know. I don't know what's going on around here. I know this, though.
We know that.
This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing because I love talking about Stevens Roofing. They are a family-owned company, a local company, and they are the absolute best in the business. I don't think there's any question about that. And I know that because, well, they've been in business for a long, long time, and they have a long list of satisfied customers. They do because they do it right, and they want to take care of you. And right now, before we get into the real heat of the summertime, and you know it's coming, it's going to get hot, and you know what that does to your roof. It can do a lot of damage. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're going to send a crew out to your house. They're going to give you a free, no-obligation roof inspection. They'll let you know if there's any problems with your roof, anything you need to be aware of, or if everything's okay, they're going to let you know that as well. Either way, it's going to give you the peace of mind that you want and that you deserve, so you know that your roof is in great shape as we head into the heat of this summertime. Stevens Roofing can do it all. It doesn't make any difference. You want a metal roof on your house, they can do that. They do commercial projects as well. In fact, Stevens Roofing covers all the bases. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net. Either way, you can schedule that free, no-obligation roof inspection. Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994.
The Morning Huddle.
It's tennis elbow. It's on the inside of your elbows. It's golfer's elbow. It's where those forearm muscles insert into your elbow. And for whatever reason, everybody will get it at some point.
But Rob doesn't work out, and he has. No, well, I do certain things.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, you are left-handed. Never mind.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you want the lowest prices on wines and champagne shipped right to your door? TotalWine.com, America's largest independent wine retailer, ships to Eugene and Springfield. Explore our vast selection of over 8,000 wines and find something you love, all at the lowest prices for over 30 years. Whether you're looking to enjoy a full-bodied Cabernet from Paso or crisp Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, TotalWine.com has you covered with great wines and Grand Cru champagne shipped right to your door. Find what you love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Shipping available on wine and champagne only. Drink responsibly. B21.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and respect. A firm backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients. If you've been injured, trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Are you an annoying coworker? Sending emails when everyone else is sleeping? Do they ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts that can help you find a better bed, like a Tempur-Pedic. It has technology to keep you cool at night, meaning anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, Tinsley, why don't we use EasyCater to order food for staff lunches?
Because my 46-page acronym system is so easy. I just have to salad, stay alert to late arriving deliveries, pie, put in expenses, and Google Pie. Go out and get everyone's preferences and allergy information.
That's supposed to be simple?
No, simple is Steven, Irma, and Margie prefer lasagna and empanadas.
OMG.
No need to make work life more complicated. Just use EasyCater, the easy way to get food for work.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, 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 and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Always good music there. That's a good song. Fantastic. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix is here as well, and we are live at Natural Bridge Caverns.
Under an unbreakable rock.
An unbreakable rock.
Yeah, I think Pledge did that. You're talking about that rock. You're
giving Pledge a lot of credit. You think Pledge was actually thinking that?
No,
I don't think so either. It's just a good song to play at any time, but it does fit, and I'm glad you put 2 and 2 together there. That was nice. Oh, man, it 130 feet below the Earth's surface here at Natural Bridge Caverns. It's been fun.
It is, and will be. And again, naturalbridgecaverns.com. If it's been a while since you've been out here, it has been for me. This is incredible. We came out here to work, but I'm already thinking I need to just come out here and do this again.
Absolutely.
And do the tour because I'm fascinated by everything that we're seeing down here. And, you know, you saw the light show.
I saw the light show. Yes, I did.
I haven't seen the entire part, and I want to go into that part where it gets completely dark.
Well, but it's interesting, though, because I guess when the tourists or the tour comes through, the lights come on, right?
Yeah.
And that what we're telling us?
Well, they don't want you walking around down here in complete darkness.
Well,
I mean, they put you into a cavern and turn out the lights so you could see, I'm not sure what. That's kind of why I want to do it. But it is weird when you see the different lights when they're on, how different the walls and the ceilings here look. You know, especially the rock above you. You know, there was a light on it a minute ago, and it looks completely different than it does right now.
Well, and that is true. And the light show over here that you were referring to, when I saw that, they've got some blue lights that kind of go into a little crevice. It looks like water in there. There's no water in there, but when the lights come on, it makes it look that way.
Well, at one time, this started as a river.
I suppose so.
Well, it says so in our notes.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad they provide us with notes.
I'm glad you read them.
I know. Jeez. Did I mention we are having a great time here at Natural Bridge Caverns? So the good stuff. Dylan Harper was actually speaking today. And because they're all at the draft, they've assembled and you know,
media day.
Is it? Yeah. So, but he was talking about San Antonio, Jason, and breakfast tacos.
I've been to San Antonio once, and I've had a breakfast taco one time, but both times the breakfast taco was good. It's not as good as a big egg and cheese, but it's like right under. Yeah, like a bagel, but it's right under. But I mean, Texas is hot. It's real hot out there. I mean. But it's definitely like a great environment just to be in and just be very low key.
So Don Harris from News 4 flew to New York to ask a breakfast taco question.
Of course he did.
I mean, and again, hard hitting journalism. You got to know the breakfast taco, and he's been here before, and then he mentions a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, which is a breakfast sandwich. I mean, he grew up in New Jersey. I mean, bagels, and I'm a big bagel fan. Bagels are great. Breakfast sandwiches on bagels, that's just a lot, right? But to compare a bagel to a breakfast taco, the kid's got some learning to do.
He's got some learning to do, too. And he's got that Yankee accent, too, going on. You know, kind of you can tell, right? Northerner.
I mean,
I'm just saying that's good. That's got to change, too, when he gets here. He's got to start saying y'all and all the cement and all that good kind of stuff. So he's got some work to do.
I just you know, you hear the answer, just the personality of it. You hear an answer. He could have just blown it off. He could have. I mean, he put some thought into it. I mean, the personality kind of shows. I mean, you know, and that's one thing with all the different interviews that every Spur fan you've been watching. Seeing his highlights, trying to learn more about him to make sure for you he fits as a Spur, and he does. He feels like he would be a Spur. I know there were some things early on when it didn't. He wanted to come here, and was his dad going to get too involved? That some people may have soured a little bit on the thought of Dylan Harper, but the Ron Harper comments certainly have stopped. That I've seen anyway.
Yeah,
and. Seemingly more, hey, wherever we end up, we're going to go there and we're going to ball out. But everything that I've seen about Dylan Harper and the interviews and press sessions that I've seen, he feels like he would be a Spur. The mindset, the attitude, everything checks all the boxes. And again, I know a little early on, you know, because of what we dealt with that dude and his uncle, that getting a parent that's too much involved kind of felt like a bit of a turnoff. But I've kind of like that was quick. I mean, because Dylan Harper seems like a likable kid.
Oh, he does. There's no question about that. He does seem like a likable kid. The fact that he likes bagels better than breakfast tacos is a mark against him. But
he'll learn.
He'll learn.
But there are days though when you're thinking about breakfast. that you can go bagel, you can go taco, and then kolaches, right?
Kolaches are great.
But there are times where when you're driving to work or you're thinking about what you're doing at the house, it's not always the same. Variety is there. Even your taco order could vary to a degree, but I don't know that I'm not going to hold it against him that he doesn't understand that a breakfast taco and a bagel are two very different things. They're not really comparing.
Wait, but he's had a taco. He should know that.
Well, he's been here once.
He had a breakfast taco.
Well, and again, he thinks, but you go to California and they sell breakfast burritos. They don't even know what breakfast tacos are.
They're huge.
Well,
they're huge.
Again, it's a burrito.
Well, dude, there are burritos and then there are burritos. And in LA, we went in that place. You, me, and Rob, and all of us got a burrito, and the dude's wrapping it up in this giant tortilla that
we could have all shared one.
We could have,
yeah,
easily,
all three of us.
Yeah, they were huge out there.
But typically, though, and I think that was that LA or Phoenix?
I don't know,
because the place in Phoenix during the Super Bowl week, those were all. I remember the first day, Rob's like 2 of those, 1 of those. You were like 2 of that, and then nobody could eat one.
No, there's no way. They're giant size out there, but he'll learn. Look, I nothing against him. He's a talented kid. There's no question about that. And I think Ron Harper realized that he doesn't want to be that guy, and he made those comments saying he'd like for his kid to play with Brooklyn. But when he said it, I think he realized he's not going to be that guy, and he needs Dylan to go to a place where he's going to get better and be able to contribute. And I think San Antonio's that place. Everybody seems to think that. And so if Dylan comes here, it's going to be interesting to see how they use all 3 of those guys and what they do with it. But if he's as talented as everybody thinks that he is, then they'll find a spot for him.
Well, and and Ron Harper being on board with, because one, he can't control it now.
Right.
It is.
Right.
But I saw Nate Ryan from Channel 5 tweet out the photo of the mural, and Ron Harper responded to the tweet with the thanks and I want to say the prayer emoji. Fact that he saw it and responded was pretty cool. And I think, Ron Harper being an NBA veteran, a 5-time champion, certainly understands what the Spurs community and fan base is like. It might not be the big city that he wants to be in. It certainly is not Chicago, and it's certainly not Brooklyn. But as a parent, where do you want your kid to be? Spurs organization is one that everything is going to be done the right way. No,
there's no question about that. And if he does end up being drafted by the Spurs, which it appears that he will be, he'll be welcome. Obviously, you got a mural already, which still blows me away.
Wow,
that you get a mural before you're even drafted.
There's no LeBron James mural in town, is there?
Well, no, there's not.
But there's a LeBron James story, isn't there? You've been teasing it for an hour.
Oh. I have been.
Are we going to get to that story?
Well,
I'm on pins and needles waiting to hear this story.
I don't know if I want to now. The excitement's kind of washed away. He was just talking about Cooper Flagg today, and a lot of people, and I find this fascinating because a lot of people are trying to make that comparison. Cooper Flagg and LeBron James a little bit. Just the youth, number one. Although LeBron never played in college, he came straight out of high school. And then, Cooper Flagg, I guess, 1 year at Duke. And so they're trying to make the comparison. But James had a high praise for him. And he said I personally think he wants to be great. He had a hell of a year at Duke, and a guy like that can do so many things out on the floor. So the point of that story is the fact that, again, we talked about it a little earlier, and if you weren't with us, it doesn't seem to me that the hype surrounding Cooper Flagg is that big. And, obviously we're talking a lot about Dylan Harper, but the more I hear when you those two guys that they're very close. Before, last year, when everybody was looking at the magical year of 2025, Cooper Flagg was he was the guy.
Yeah.
And there's no way, and now it just doesn't seem that way to me.
I just feel like because Dallas won the lottery, we know where he's going. There's no suspense. So it's kind of like Dylan Harper here. When does the draft start? At 3? At 4? because he is just a consensus number one, the Mavericks made it clear they won't even entertain any kind of trade. You could offer everything, and they're going to say no. There's just no suspense there. It's anticlimactic. Dallas, you're on the clock, and the card's already been turned in, right? And so I think that's why there's not the same kind of hype level that you're getting for Cooper Flagg for this draft. Say Wemby a couple years ago, international player coming from France. You hear all the stories, the alien, all this kind of stuff, but nobody really knows him, right? We know Cooper Flagg. We've seen interviews with him for a year. We took his team to the Final Four. There's just no suspense with what Dallas is going to do. It's okay, ho hum. You're the number one pick. I mean, they've already made his rookie cards, I'm sure. I mean, they're ready to rock and roll.
I get where you're coming from, but I just think that the difference between Cooper Flagg and now Dylan Harper, if that is true, and people seem to think that it is 1A, 1B, I've heard that a lot. There's not that separation where he is the star out there. You've got Dylan Harper, who a lot of people seem to think is just as good or damn near as good as Cooper Flagg. So with Wemby coming out, you knew, this guy's head and shoulders above everybody else. Well, Tim Duncan, when he came out, head and shoulders above everybody else.
I think Cooper Flagg head and shoulders above everyone else. I think 1A, 1B, I haven't heard that. I hear in most years, Dylan Harper would be the number one pick, but this year they got Cooper Flagg, so he's clearly number two. It would be better, and I think the hype that you'd be looking for if there was some intrigue. Would Dallas take Dylan Harper or Cooper Flagg? Kind of like with the Texans a few years ago in Carolina. Is it going to be Bryce? Is it going to be CJ? Who's going number one? And you kind of keep that a secret for as long as you can. That made that draft a lot more interesting.
Yeah, but Bryce Young, you knew he was going number one. Didn't you? Pledge was hoping he wouldn't because Pledge wanted to pick him at number two for the Houston
because
Texans.
There was the talk that CJ could go number one. It was which one did Carolina like more? A really bad example, but if you remember the hype, do you take Peyton Manning or do you take Ryan Leaf? They're the same guy. You can't go wrong with either one. Remember those stories?
I remember those stories.
It was, but there was so much intrigue there. And, we know how that worked out.
Yeah, we know how that worked out. And I guess that Scooter guy was close enough to
Scoot
Wemby.
Henderson? Yeah, that guy?
No, Scooter was the guy in Portland. Is it Scooter? See, exactly. You don't remember who the guy is.
Scoot.
Because he disappeared off the face of the earth.
Well, that's because he plays in Portland and they suck.
Well,
but they did get a true holiday today.
They did get that. There was a big trade made. There were a couple of trades made, and we'll wrap that up and let you know what the Spurs are rumored to be interested in. A couple of big guys on the radar, it seems. And look, the rumors between now and then and the trades that are going to be happening, I think it's going to heat up overnight and going into tomorrow as we get closer to the NBA draft getting started. And I guess the first two picks are made. The intrigue will start then at number 3 with the Philadelphia 76ers. The Blitz is live here at Natural Bridge Caverns, 130 feet below the Earth's surface, having a great time. We'll wrap things up with some trade talk and some rumors about what the Spurs are going to do when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, it's finally here, draft day. We'll talk all about the possibilities. Yeah, who are the Spurs going to go with? Who are they going to pick? Are they going to pick at 14? All that, but also football. Let's talk that too. Got plenty of time to do it. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Out here, you get your hands dirty. You get to work and finish the long summer day knowing you made it count. Whether it's cutting the grass, picking the garden, firing up the grill, or washing your dog. You get things done. It's the small stuff that adds up to this life you love. At Tractor Supply, we know that feeling, and we've got the supplies and friendly advice you need to get the most out of every day, all summer long. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast, and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated, because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job, pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on home and auto insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your house sitter has the new code first before leaving for vacation.
System lockout.
But that's the code.
Contacting authority.
I'm out of here. Oh, seriously, the car too? Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a home and auto bundle that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Blitz live at Natural Bridge Caverns. Caves.
They might have cabins out here.
Woo, maybe so. They got everything else out here. It's been a lot of fun being 130 feet below the Earth's surface.
You know, idea. I wonder if they have or could create like rooms where you could stay down here. Could you create a hotel room down here? No. This dude's like, I ain't changing sheets. No way in hell. But why not? I mean, you put a bed over here, you project the TV, have the game on the wall over there, a little mini bar.
Dude, I'm thinking this is a huge man cave.
I mean,
put TVs all along there. You can put up, chairs and all this stuff. Start selling beer and
you
pretzels.
Start drinking and that light show goes off.
Oh
yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I think we could be on to something.
But then trying to ride back up on that moving sidewalk might be a problem after a six-pack.
It is like you're no DWI because you wouldn't be able to walk up that.
No,
turn the moving sidewalk off and you're here.
That could be entertaining.
Yeah, just sleep it off down there.
Watching a bunch of drunk guys try to get up that moving sidewalk.
Dude, that could be an Olympic sport.
That would be entertaining.
Dude, I think we're on it. We should we should
agree.
find another, because they're always finding new caverns down here. Take the next one and turn it into the Natural Bridge Caverns Hotel.
Yeah, okay. This guy says absolutely not.
That guy's thinking, man, somebody's going to try to turn that into the honeymoon suite.
Yeah, no question.
I mean, there's the Mile High Club. What about
ooh, the Below Ground Club? Do they have that?
I'm sure it's happened down here. Somebody on the tour snuck off.
You think? I mean, you could hide in those rocks over there. I just don't know how comfortable she would be.
Have you ever cared?
Woo, no, not really. Not in particular.
Okay, let's be honest.
Okay. I'm just saying. It's possible. All things are possible.
There's a stalagmite joke in there.
Yeah, this is a family show. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I think we have the doc on the line. He's probably blushing.
Yeah, is he?
No, I think he is.
No, not yet. I haven't heard Pledge say that he's ready.
Is he ready, please? Yeah, he's there.
Apparently he is. Dr. Lane Nauer joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line for our injury update. Powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Doc, you've got little kids, right? Have you ever brought them out to Natural Bridge Caverns?
I have not myself been there. They've been there with grandma maybe.
It's a fun place.
It is a fun place. Yeah.
I mean, we're live right now, 130 feet below the Earth's surface in a cavern.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I've never been there. I've never heard of a radio show broadcasting from a location like that. It's pretty cool.
First in my long career of doing this, although I am worried about Reinagel because he had to walk down to get down here because he wasn't smart enough to ask for a golf cart. And he's got to walk up because the golf cart that here only has one seat and it's got my name on it. What kind of injuries is Reinagel going to deal with having to walk out of the cavern?
I mean, I just assume some knee issues, maybe some low back ache, but I think you can make it.
I think I can make it too, Doc, but if I come see you tomorrow, you'll know why.
Of course. I mean, we'll have the steroid shots ready for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than just Advil, although I'm worried about his calf. Now, his calf isn't near as bad as what Tyrese Halliburton is dealing with. Torn Achilles, had surgery. The fact that everybody kind of knew the risk that he was taking with that calf injury, that could lead to an Achilles blowing out. And we all watched it. Everybody, even if they don't actually have an MD, the armchair MD, we all knew it was a blown Achilles as soon as it happened. Is it, I don't want to say, is it worth the risk? Because what player is going to say, I'm not playing in game 7 because I might get hurt? But from a medical standpoint, for a doctor to know that's a risk, hindsight being what it is, was it worth it? I'm sure he would probably still say yes. In fact, he posted that on social media. But do you think the Indiana team doctor is regretting the decision to clear him?
You know, I don't think they're regretting either on the player's side or the doctor's side. I doubt they're regretting it. Obviously hindsight being what it is, if he's out for the next year, of course they're regretting that it's happened, but it's actually kind of unusual to see an instance where there was calf pain that then led so quickly to a rupture like this. That's actually not very common.
Interesting. Well, Doc, let me ask you this question, because in the NBA this year, it seems like there's been a rash of Achilles injuries. What do you attribute that to, or what would be your best guess for that? Moving around, playing too long? What would you think?
It seems like they're definitely more highly publicized, and it seems like they've happened more to high-profile players. I'm not sure if the actual rate of injuries has gone up a lot, but it's definitely happened to more of the high-profile players. But again, especially the NBA, the training these guys do, the volume of games, even between games, the level of fitness has gone up over the last decade or two. So it's just a lot more strain and stress. So I think there probably is, more of these happening to higher profile players.
Is there anything you can do to protect your Achilles?
There, the basics for just the run-of-the-mill recreational athlete, things like stretching appropriately, warm up, but also even more basic than that, managing your weight, doing exercises that are reasonable for your level of fitness. Those are the basic things that we're preaching day in and day out in our clinics. Now, for the higher level athletes like NBA players, more aggressive rehab and therapy day to day that you or I on a day-to-day basis with our exercise or our weekend warrior type of sports probably aren't needing to do.
Well, Doc, when you look at that, and obviously Halliburton had surgery, we've had a couple of others, big name players. Yet, is it typically a 12-month or so process to get back and be able to do what these guys do?
Yeah, a full year is generally, if you have surgery, a year recovery is recommended. Now, there are some folks with certain types of surgery that potentially could get back sooner. I remember, Aaron Rodgers, we were hearing early on that he was going to be back within the same season, and obviously that didn't pan out. So in general, we're looking at 9 months to a full year for athletes, and for basketball players who rely on explosive movements and jumping, a year is typical.
Is that part of the reason why Halliburton had the surgery so quickly? Because I seem to recall others, you wait for a little swelling to go down or a week or, is it just get it now so that starts the rehab process, or is there a reason that he would have had surgery so quickly?
The timing now is having it done so quick. I think it is just for the rehab and recovery time frame to see if there might be any chance of him making it back for next season. There is some evidence in our world that acute or earlier surgery does better, but it's not the hard and fast rule. You don't want to wait weeks and weeks. I think this is more about just getting him on the road to rehab sooner.
It's going to be interesting for his rehab. Doc, we got a little breaking news, so that'll do it for our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Lane, now we always appreciate the knowledge and the insight.
All right. Hey, we do have some breaking news, Pledge. Yeah, Kristaps Porzingis not coming to San Antonio. In fact, according to Shams Charania right now, Boston, Atlanta, and Brooklyn are finalizing a 3-team trade that sends Porzingis and a second-round pick to the Hawks, Terrence Mann and Atlanta's number 22 pick to the Nets, and Georges Niang and a second-rounder to the Celtics.
So Porzingis not staying in Boston. I almost read this and wonder if there will be another domino that falls. Trying to make sense of it. But again, I think later tonight and all day tomorrow, you're going to see all kinds of trade movement. And you wonder with Brooklyn where they're going with this. What could they be doing? Because they've been so often linked to different offers for the San Antonio Spurs. But as it sits right now, Porzingis not coming to San Antonio, but he was traded away today.
Interesting here that there's a lot of speculation, obviously, and it appears that, according to a few tweets, that Brooklyn might be doing this and stockpiling something to move up from 8 up to possibly number 3 or 4 in tomorrow's draft. So,
well, in Boston now under the second Abram with the trade of Porzingis and Drew Holiday earlier today, saving Boston a projected $180 million in tax penalties, according to Bobby Marks at ESPN.
Wow. Well, that's huge. That is huge. No question about that. Going to be a lot of this stuff, as Jason just mentioned, coming up overnight tonight and then throughout the day tomorrow as we get set for the NBA draft. Round 1 to take place tomorrow night. Spurs with the number 2 pick. Will they do anything prior to the draft? That's the question. And so, of course, we'll talk about all of that tomorrow at the Roo Pub from 2 to 6 when we broadcast live from there. It's been great here at Natural Bridge Caverns.
It really is incredible. Get out here, naturalbridgecaverns.com to book your tour in advance.
No doubt about it. Pledge, you got a show tonight?
Yes, sir.
All right. Extra Innings with Pledge is coming up next. Be sure and join the fellas on the Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob, tomorrow morning. They get you started at 6 o'clock. It's going to be a big day in the NBA and for all of us here at San Antonio Sports Star tomorrow. Hope you have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz.